Morning, Chicago. Good morning, world. It is another chilly day out where I'm at. Hopefully, it's a little bit warmer out by you. Appreciate you for tuning in and rocking with us for another morning. We've got another great morning of sports talk, and it starts right now. It's your boy, Pat the Designer, as always, back at it again. Interesting morning. Interesting morning to get into. Bears have completed a couple more hires. And as they complete the hires, we all do our research on the hires, do we not? As they complete more and more hires, we look deeper into these hires, trying to figure out, is this guy the right guy for the Chicago Bears' next head coaching job? And so with that, we're going to get into the Bears completing interviews of Eberflus and Quinn. And honestly, as I look at it, the question I've got on the table is Dan Quinn the best of the finalists? Is Dan Quinn the best of the Bears finalists at the moment? How would pairing him with Ryan Poles look? And then getting into just a little bit of general NFL talk. Breaking down things going on around the league where they're looking at how that could affect what the Bears are trying to do. They're getting into a lot of those topics. And then should the Bulls be concerned after losing another big lead last night, both in back-to-back winning efforts? But should there be some concern there that they've lost multiple big leads in a row? We'll be breaking that down, and then, of course, looking at some general NBA. Are the Nets making a mistake here by not looking to move on from Harden? All that and more, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us this morning. As always, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Shout out to y'all for pulling up in this early morning, man. Top of the morning. Let me take a sip of this coffee. That first sip of coffee in the morning, man. Gets you going. Gets the people going. It's provocative. How you guys feeling this morning, man? Hope you guys are safe, riding in your cars, on the way to work, setting up your computers in this new Zoom world. Can you even call it new anymore? We've been in it 2 years. Most of us know each other just like this. Mike Davidson, shout out to you in the chat, man. Appreciate you. A Rose Risen in the chat. Brian Williams. Clayton in the chat. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Mike says he's just getting off, man. Hey, get some rest, my boy. Enjoy the show, but get some rest. Interesting to me when we're talking about the Bears, when we get into where this team could go by finding the right head coach. They interviewed Eberflus yesterday. They also interviewed Quinn. Eberflus, to me, comes with a lot of similar credentials to Quinn, minus the fact that he's never been a head coach. When I look at Dan Quinn, he's the youngest of the candidates, so he's got the opportunity, if there is success there, to be there the longest, which I like. Because to me, Caldwell, you're looking for another head coach in a few years. I wouldn't even mind if Quinn brought in Caldwell as a OC, but I don't know if Caldwell's coming back to be an OC. I like a lot of things about Caldwell. I really do. 67. I understand that most of the coaches are older in this league, but do you want to take that shot? I mean, look at what Tampa's going through now, where if Tom Brady leaves, it's hey, Bruce Arians, are you sticking around? Hey, Gronk, are you sticking around? You know what I'm saying? But I would rather have the right guy in place as well. I want the guy that's going to get wins. I want the guy that's going to get the job done. And so now I start looking at the other finalists who at this point we've got to assume are finalists, right? We've heard from everybody that these are the guys that the Bears are going with. I speculated that there might be a chance that Ryan Poles doesn't like any of them, moves off of this list. Again, that still could be in place. Again, these are Ryan Poles' first time interviewing these guys. These are second interviews with the Chicago Bears. But we heard yesterday, Bill Polian has absolutely nothing to do with this process. Bill Polian has absolutely nothing to do with this process, right? So this is Ryan Poles' first time meeting with all of those guys on his own solo. I believe I might double check that before I say that. I believe they said George wasn't in on these as well. This was just Ryan Poles going to work by himself, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But when I had to go down and look at Dan Quinn, what really happened, because to me, right, here's the thing. Dan Quinn absolutely blows the lead. Kyle Shanahan really blew the lead. But Dan Quinn blows the lead as a DC. And loses a Super Bowl, and it all spirals downhill. But where did it spiral? That was my question, right? Where did it spiral? Why wasn't he able to get the staff right again? Why wasn't he able to get that team back to the place that it was? Why wasn't he able to get that team remotely close to the place that it was? Why was it that all of a sudden this team, because if you remember, our Bears are the ones that killed him, right? Our Bears are the one that actually end up getting Dan Quinn fired. When Nick Foles leads the comeback over Atlanta, when they finally bench Mitch, and they had blown their second 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, Dan Quinn ends up getting out of there. So why were they unable to ever get back to where they were? Why were they unable? And I had to do a little deep dive here. And it's on Quinn. It comes down to Quinn. And so you have to hire him hoping that he's learned from his past mistakes. So, of course, they end up blowing the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan blows it. Takes the 49ers head coaching job. If he had hired from within, if he had assessed the staff properly, which is the scariest part of this, as we got breaking news now, Broncos are hiring Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett as their new head coach. Broncos are hiring Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett as their new head coach. So that's going to be going on out in Denver. We'll break that down a little bit later as well. Interesting move there by Denver. Very interesting move, especially with the defense you got. I don't know about that one. I don't know if I like that one. Oh, all right. But it absolutely falls on Quinn, getting back to my point. If he had hired from within, speaking of the Packers, his next OC would have been Matt LaFleur. Another good offensive mind. Another good mind that could have worked with Matt Ryan and probably gotten you back to at least near where you were the season before. I don't know if you get back to a Super Bowl, some bad picks in there, some, you know what I'm saying, some things went down. And so one decision really changed the trajectory of that team. So you have to, when you're doing these interviews now, when you're coming into this, you have to hope And I guess that's all it is at this point, because these are the list of candidates that you have. You have to hope that Dan Quinn has learned from his mistakes. Because to me, when I'm looking at it, here's the interesting thing about Quinn. Quinn comes in with that D-line background. Means a lot, especially when you pair it with an O-lineman who's now your GM. When you pair it with an O-lineman who's now your GM, now you've got two guys that are thinking offensive line play, defensive line play to build your team with. That could be a plus in that situation. Now, I'm not saying that's the best answer. I'm not saying that because to me, Dan Quinn, the scariest part to me is that he wasn't able to identify that Matt LaFleur was the next best option. That's still very scary because listen, when you go to the Super Bowl, which I'm hoping my Chicago Bears do, guess what? I'm going to grab some of your OCs or DCs. So identifying that next best option is huge. As we bring the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don into the building.
Yo.
Okay. You look a
Yo.
little less like you in a murder dungeon.
Hey.
You're looking a little bit less like you in a murder dungeon.
What's good? What's good?
Gotta be the blackest show in the world, dog. we gotta literally be the blackest show in the world. Blackest sports show on TV. Hey man, did he just pull up 10 minutes late? Hey man, he be asleep. I don't know. Sometimes he pulled up though. Shout out to him.
Hey, you gonna get a little bit of everything on her.
You absolutely gonna get a little bit of everything.
Hey. Just like Giannis eating the chicken under pressure, bro.
Fam, Giannis, he had to. He got yammed on yesterday. Straight dunked him out the building, dog. Evan Mobley, relax, brother.
What are you doing?
But no, man. Just breaking down how it seems like Quinn, to me, is the best option of the finalists now. Youngest at 51. I guess, listen, you do have to say something for the initial staff that he built. A lot of people weren't taking that chance on Kyle Shanahan because they thought that's daddy's son. That's Mike's son. Oh, okay. He's got it, but that's Mike's son. I don't know. I don't know if that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, is he gonna be the same as dad? Is he gotten here because of his connections? Of course he got there because of his connections, but he's also good at his job. Let's call a spade a spade. Of course he got there because of his connections.
Of course. What do you think?
My last name's Shanahan. Let me in the building. Stop playing with me.
You know who I am? Nah, I mean, and the crazy part about it is, the reason why they was even like, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? The reason why they was kind of like not thinking about hiring him is because you gotta remember, like, he was with the he was with the staff when they were in Washington, and then the whole RG3 thing went down.
Yep.
With him not blocking with the line. It was reports RG3 said he wanted to be out of the pocket. Shanahan wanted him in the pocket. So it was a whole lot of stuff going on. But I mean, he's held up. He definitely.
Hey, listen, you know why I can't even be mad at Kyle Shanahan for that. You know why he wanted him in the pocket? Doggone stop. We want you to stop dying.
Dog, he really didn't know how to slide.
Fam, he never learned either. He never learned.
He never.
That's one of my
learned
favorite
how to
clips from
slide.
this year. That's one of my favorite clips from this year too. Was that this year or last year? I think it was this year when Joey B went to slide and the lineman was like, "Yeah, you better slide." He's like, "You got dang right. I'm tired of y'all hitting me."
Nah, but but even I think who did they play this year? Somebody when the game was over, he was like, "Listen, you're good. You got all the tools. We don't need you hurt. Slide." Like, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the coaches. It was like one of the opposing quarter. I forgot who they played, but he was like, "Bro, you too good. Like not to be sliding. Like
Yeah.
yeah."
It's interesting. Like if it
Mike,
comes down,
you still gotta learn though. You can't
if it
just
comes down to that, as we're welcoming into the show the super producer Joel Holt into the building.
So what's going on, fellas?
OT.
Holtzy in the building. I feel like he's in a new room every single week.
I cleaned up.
hey, that's when your house is too big, man.
Yeah, well, it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. No, man. Just breaking down, and then we might even switch topics here in a little bit, but just getting y'all thoughts on what's going to be the best option for the Bears right now. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like, listen, I'm hoping that there's some other people interviewed, hoping there's a Bieniemy interview, hoping that there's some other guys in the building. But as of now, it looks like the Bears finalists are Dan Quinn, Matt Eberflus, and Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
And as I look at them, with the pairing of the two, Dan Quinn might be the best of those names. Eberflus brings a lot of the similar things, but doesn't have the head coaching experience.
I never heard of Buddy in the Middle.
Matt Eberflus? That's the DC from the Colts. Colts defense was nice. You know what I'm saying? He built a good defense. It was, hey, listen, they did their job.
The line was nice.
Wait, listen, that's the biggest part of it.
The line was nice, having Darius Leonard help. So I mean, I'll give him that. I mean,
he coming into a team with Quinn and Matt.
I don't disagree that Quinn probably is of the top of the three.
Yeah.
And I think that if you look, I mean, he did take Atlanta to the big dance.
He built the staff right once. I was telling them, I was telling Ringo in the chat, he missed on one guy. If he hires within, your next OC is Matt LaFleur. It's a big miss.
Yeah. Well, the key to me is what offense are you going to bring that's not going to change? I mean, that's the problem. And that's why, like, Dable from a strategic standpoint makes sense, but we don't know if he's a really good head coach. We don't know what type of staff he's going to bring.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think Jim Caldwell would probably have the experience and be able to put the structure in place that I think would have sustained success. I don't know what Dan Quinn's going to do.
But the thing with Caldwell is, how long is that sustained success going to be there? Listen, I understand we think these guys can coach forever because a lot of these dudes are coaching forever. Freaking Pete Carroll, relax, brother. It's the gum that's keeping them fresh out there. But
no, I think,
you know what I'm saying, 67 ain't exactly a spring chicken no more. I mean, how long is he going to realistically be the Bears head coach? Or is this let's get you in here like Bruce Arians, best candidate for the job, try and win a Super Bowl within 3 years and then be like, hey, you leaving? Or you going to stick around?
Or no, is it more so about he gets in place, and then he puts in something in place where there's a successor. So he's there for 3 years, kind of like Tony Dungy ran the ship for a little while, and then Jim Caldwell did take over and ran it for a couple of years.
I mean, you gotta be winning to do that, though.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hypothetically say he does. I think either one. I think we will have some success. It's the issue is like, will we have sustained success versus just a flash in the pan? You know, is this guy, because is the GM going to pick talent? We still, I mean, like, it's great that we got a new GM.
Still a big question.
Right. We don't know. We still don't even know if okay.
And he ain't got no picks to do it with.
Well, he got a first round pick, but you know, you can still make some noise. But that, you know, my thing is just right now, it doesn't matter. I just hopefully that there's a plan in place of, you know.
Well, and that's the other reason why I said Quinn might actually be the best hire for the Bears in this situation, because and again, this is just of the list of the 3 finalists that are named. I'm not saying that to me he's the best hire overall. It could be I would like to see somebody off of the list get the interview as well. But to me, I look at Quinn paired with Poles, and both of those guys are line guys. Poles is an offensive lineman. You would hope that he's going to be able to identify that talent that is around him, that is coming into the draft because he played that position. Usually the guys that aren't great at that position can identify the guys that are great at that position because they spent their whole career like, man, that dude's really good. I wish I could play like that. And they usually can identify the dudes that are worse than them at their position. It's like, well, at least I don't suck like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually those middle of the pack guys are better at that. And then you look at Dan Quinn's background of being a defensive line coach for a good chunk of his career. You would hope that he'd be able to identify that talent there as well, as the blackest show on earth keeps it going. Oh, the waves are dripping right now, though, my boy. Pulling up with okay, we see you, my boy. Do-rag on point last night, man.
There was no do-rag, though. The waves always dripping.
Oh, wow. No do-rag? Wow. This man sleeps on a silk pillow. He sleeps on a silk pillow, dog.
Oh, this is fruits and
berries.
I
don't need a do-rag. I'm him.
I don't use a Derrick cup, baby. It's just nothing but juices and berries.
It's like my Ultra Perm, baby. What you think?
I like the way you wear it here. It's nice and natural.
No, but I mean, if we're gonna talk about continued success, that's probably the best recipe there for continued success.
I like this is the thing for me. At least 2 of the candidates have checked some boxes for me. They have won and they have experience. So hopefully they could learn from it. I mean, Caldwell's like, but it's like Caldwell has 2 rings. You know, he's won in Detroit. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Man, that means a lot, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It does mean a lot. And then Dan Quinn, he got Atlanta going. Baltimore.
He was the DC on that Colts team.
He was the
two.
He won.
He won with Baltimore too, right?
Yeah,
Baltimore. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
He was an OC, and then for Colts, and then I think he was also an OC for Baltimore as well.
Yep.
I mean, he made Joe Flacco look good.
He made Joe Flacco look elite.
He made Joe Flacco look real good.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Well. Playoff Joe Flacco.
Right.
I mean, hey, but the point is like there's some. I wouldn't discredit him. I'm not that. Yeah, he's older, but then again,
I wouldn't discredit him. And listen, if he's the best candidate that you have available, you go get him. I don't care how old he is. If he's going to do the best for the Chicago Bears, if he's going to bring in the best staff, you go get him. It doesn't matter to me. But you do have to take into account that if Quinn fits well with this team as well, if it's even to me, it's Quinn. If you feel equally good about both candidates,
Quinn got rings too. I think Quinn has at least 1 ring for sure.
Yeah, he built the Legion of Boom.
Right.
So if you have if it's even to me, it's Quinn because you're going to have the continued success. Again, biggest question mark is Quinn's biggest screw up. The 28-3 is not on Quinn to me. 28-3 is on Kyle Shanahan saying, hey, we're up 28-3 on the Patriots. Let's keep throwing this football. And as a defensive-minded coach, I mean, I guess you could say he should call in on the headset and say, run it a little bit. But as a defensive-minded coach that probably went the entire season without interfering with what Kyle Shanahan was doing, the Super Bowl is probably not the time where you want to be like, hey, I'm going to switch up everything that we've done now. In my mind, I would say that's the moment where you don't want to screw with what's been working, what's gotten you here.
I mean, considering it's the last game of the season, might not be a good idea. Might not be a bad idea. God, you know what I'm saying? This is like, hey, we're up. We're losing this lead. You might want to
maybe just send him a friendly suggestion.
A little text message or something. You know.
Nice. Put this little slip in a suggestion box here. Hey, you might want to run the goddamn ball.
Let's just eat the clock out. You know, let's just eat it out. Let it run out. Come on.
Just in case you didn't know, when you run, stays in bounds. That time ticker right there just keeps going down.
I'll never understand that, dog.
Hey, just be like Flavor Flav on the big clock, like.
Dog, I'll never understand that, dog. That man literally was just like, "Hey, we just gonna keep throwing this thing up there and see what happens."
Yeah, we saw what happened. Yeah, lost.
I remember my dad saying at halftime, like, well, this one's over. And I was like, the Patriots gonna win. It's like, he was like, what? I was like, you just said it's over. Brady heard you. I don't know how he heard you, but I know he heard you.
Never count Brady out.
Never count Brady out, dog. Hey, I wasn't counting Brady out in that playoff game, man. But it's interesting. Like, here's the thing, right? That's not his biggest mistake. Not sending down the text message to Kyle Shanahan is not his biggest mistake. Biggest mistake was you lost Kyle Shanahan and you had Matt LaFleur as the next man up that could have kept that offense moving in the right direction. We see it. Hey, that offense absolutely works with Matt Ryan there. And at least Matt LaFleur would run the ball a little bit, maybe take the ball out of Matt Ryan's hands every now and then, kick some field goals. You know what I'm saying? How it goes. We don't want to cook Ringo again. But hey, somebody house getting broke into right now. Y'all might want to check on that.
What was that? I came to cook them. Wow, somebody came to cook them.
Hey, Ringo. Hey, Ringo. You already look like you in the dungeon, dog. You good? Blink twice if you need help.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Hey, I can't control everything. Somebody leaving the crib, dog.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
I'm gonna say this. As a running joke, I swear I'm gonna hire somebody to dress up in a chef hat and come sit there and serve you food. Just to continue that you got cooked joke.
Serving pancakes.
I didn't get cooked.
You didn't get cooked off of. You didn't get cooked, dog. You're right. You got barbecue. Now yesterday, the Mitch versus Justin debate, you got cooked. I saw your face. You got cooked on that. No one can cook me on a Mitch versus Justin debate because Justin ain't did nothing to tell me I got cooked.
No.
like nothing has happened for me to be cooked yet.
Hey, I don't know about that one, dog. We didn't call out a cooking when it happened. We was cooking you that day. We called that. Hey, I'll say this though, kid. I'll say this. The chef joke is great all until we all sitting here on live and we just like, man, them pancakes look pretty good though. Ringo over here with the buttery syrup on the pancakes, and we sitting here like, good Lord, that looks phenomenal. But no, it's I mean, and by the way, just to get into this as well, which it could be a long play. I said it earlier, but the breaking news out there, man, Broncos hire Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett as their new head coach.
Look at Pat putting up the topics on the screen so that we can keep it moving like a real show.
Trying to be a respectful show out here.
Look at this guy trying to up the ante on us and stuff like that.
Is there
Broncos hire Packers OC as new head coach Nathaniel Hackett. Is this a play to get Aaron Rodgers to Denver?
Right.
Yeah.
Is this a Aaron Rodgers to Denver hire? And is it a kick in the groin if Aaron Rodgers be like, I didn't like that dude when he was here anyway, and don't go to Denver now?
We
No.
don't know. Oh, that would
Broncos
be
are gonna get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, 'cause Elway-
The Aaron Rodgers, the Broncos thing has been happening for a while. And
Yeah.
you know what?
It makes the most sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Because now you got him, you got
I don't know. That offensive line didn't do a great job keeping Teddy Bridgewater off his back.
I meant, well, it's Teddy. It's Teddy one. Two.
Hey, Teddy with protection ain't that bad.
Hey,
no, Teddy with protection ain't bad, but
A-Rod getting that joint out quick.
You talking now possibly Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
No
Tim Patrick over there as well.
Noah Fant.
Oh yeah.
And now I got my tight end. So
and they did.
You never know.
The Packers do be getting him some old tight ends. I'm not gonna lie to you. Packers be like, "How old are you? 45? Come on, man. We still got room for you." Like, dog, like you could have went and got multiple tight ends in multiple rounds that you could have put out there.
They don't really care for Aaron, and it kind of shows. But you know what? At the same time, there's reason to be like, this ain't working. Like, it's working, but it ain't working.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they do a lot. They do a lot to put stuff around Aaron. Aaron just don't like what they put around him. And it's gonna be it's like
for good reason though. You gotta admit that.
No, I don't. He's got two really good running backs. He's got a number one wide receiver, and he's got an offensive line that for the most part keeps him off his butt when healthy. This year they weren't as healthy, so he got sacked a little bit more. This year losing Bakhtiari was huge. But as a quarterback, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Mitch had that same level of protection, he'd be mediocre.
He was already mediocre. If he had that same level of protection, he'd be pretty good.
No, he went to the Pro Bowl. Like, he wouldn't be mediocre.
Hey, listen.
You know what it is?
Must be talking about that Pro. Must be talking about that Pro Bowl. Must be talking about that Pro Bowl like it wasn't 15 bow outs.
No. I'm not,
he went to the Pro Bowl. Hey, you trying to go?
Y'all talk about my first season like I talk about my first season in the Madden League, bro.
I'm not foolish enough to say that, Mitch was all this. You had to be good enough to at least get mentioned. The point is that he wasn't going to be. He wasn't.
How many quarterbacks dropped out?
It was quite a few.
Okay, how many Bears quarterbacks have we had to even go to the Pro Bowl?
Cut it. Hey, that's on y'all, dog.
Hey.
No, I don't even think. Thank you. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Cuddy made a couple Pro Bowls.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He made two.
What, in Denver?
Cuddy definitely made the Pro Bowl.
In Denver? I don't think he made it in Chicago.
He didn't make it in Chicago.
I'm trying to tell you. Even though he tripped and fell into
look it
it,
up.
I'm not saying that, Trubisky was lauded. But the point was, to your point, if he got all of the protection you're talking about, he would have been.
He'd have been better. No,
he'd have been good. He wouldn't have been great. He would have been good. That's all.
Yeah, he never made the Pro Bowl in Chicago.
You know what?
He only made the Pro Bowl once.
Thank you.
Year before we got him.
I know something.
I thought he made one in Chicago.
Nah,
but I'm here to tell you.
He's like,
hey,
I'm not
how about you get your internet connection stable before you get cocky, though?
Let me call Comcast right now.
Yeah, you get that landline called in, dog. No, that's.
Oh man, that's interesting. No, he didn't make it.
You know what though? I'll say that. Hey, it makes sense. It's like, wait, you telling me Cuddy didn't make the Pro Bowl in the NFC? And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers was here, wasn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
But no, like it does this. I mean, listen. With this being said, now it makes the Bears hire even more important because to me, if you make this hire, by the way, if y'all want to be entertained, go watch Vikings fans that do this for a living on YouTube and stuff as well. How quickly they switched on Ryan Poles. It's so funny. It's so literally the day before the Bears hired him, they were like, I think Poles comes in He's got a great system in place. He'll hire this guy and he'll turn the Vikings around real quick. Data Bears hired him right after that. The Mus was like, he just wanted to make his job a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he was a great fit here anyway. And sometimes I was like, fam, when I literally, there's one dude I watch. I gotta find Buddy again. And he's really good at it. He's a really good, like, he does a great job breaking it down for the Vikings. We were trying to get him on last year when we had
he ain't gonna come
when
on
we
now.
had the Vikings on. No, we were trying to get him on last year when we had the Vikings on, but it didn't work out because it was like a Monday night. We played him on Monday night. But Buddy was, dog, I'm talking about, the switch was immediate. He was like, dog, Poles, he fixes the Vikings. He's our answer. Let's get it going. Second they hired him, hey, I really think he just wanted to make his job a little bit harder. I don't know about Poles making it work anyway. I was like, dang, dog, like, talk about you salty. But with this hire, with Nathaniel Hackett going over to the Broncos, which we all believe could be the pull for Aaron Rodgers to leave the division, please, God, give us something. Well, you gave us Justin Fields. Gave us Justin Fields. We'll see how that works out. But we is this the moment now where if they get this hire right, the Bears take over the NFC North for a while? Because you would assume Devontae Adams follows Aaron Rodgers wherever he goes.
They could franchise tag him though.
Aaron,
still Jordan Love.
They could franchise.
Oh, Devontae. Devontae.
They could franchise tag Devontae and just roll with what they got.
You know what? I'm always like, we did that here. Now, granted, Nagy basically was like, yeah, A-Rob, we're going to do that. And then he saw Justin not look his way once. And he was like, well, you're out of the system. Franchise tagging on receivers, like, it works, but it doesn't. Like, are you
in Chicago? We kept A-Rob.
Well, the thing is, are you franchise tagging him to try and re-sign him, or are you franchise tagging him to try and keep your team relevant? Because Devontae Adams doesn't keep your team relevant if Jordan Love can't get him the ball. And by the way, Jordan Love getting no love in Green Bay, which should tell you a lot, because the second they talked about Aaron Rodgers possibly leaving, Marcus Mariota's name came up. I was like, good Lord, dog, he's not even going to get a shot?
Dog, he bad.
Jordan Love don't even get a year.
He bad. All right, for him to be playing behind probably the most talented QB we've seen of that generation. I say of that generation. I still think Patrick Mahomes is more talented. He didn't get better at all.
Yeah,
he didn't. How are you in a QB room with a GOAT and you not get better?
I mean, I'll say this to Jordan Love's credit. Or, well, I don't know about if it's credit, but just how kind of Aaron Rodgers' career got off to, or first few games got off to a rocky start. Can't say his career. First few games got off to a rocky start. When he came in behind Brett Favre, those first few games, Muzz were talking about, I think there's literally a clip that's floating around where they were like, if the Packers want to get this thing together, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to play a lot better.
Yeah.
Hey, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he did it. So I can't judge Jordan Love based off of coming in a couple of games where the same things that we give Aaron Rodgers credit for overcoming, Jordan Love wasn't able to overcome. You know what I'm saying? Like a struggling offensive line because they weren't healthy, and you throw Jordan Love in the middle of a game where for the second half of that game, he's just getting killed the entire time.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I think Black Rain said it. He was like, "Hey, Niners lose Jimmy G, but they trade the Packers trade for Jimmy G. You franchise tag Devontae Adams, man.
Hey, he get no love. Jordan Bell ain't gonna get a shot. Just retire, dog.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Hey, keep getting them checks, dog. Don't
Jimmy
retire.
G
Keep getting them checks.
Green Bay, we still have a problem.
You got a problem. You got a ready-made.
No, because there's not that defense is okay. It's not great. They don't have a really good running game to surround that and protect Jimmy G. So
I'm very confused why you don't think they don't have a good running game.
They still got the O-line.
They're not.
Yo,
I'm confused on two
y'all
things.
is so thirsty to take over the division. Y'all not even looking at the pieces.
Yeah, no, don't say y'all. I'm looking at the pieces. I know AJ Dillon's a good running back, and I know that
AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones, Devontae
Aaron Jones
Adams
is a 1,000-yard
with
rusher. Like,
a line.
I'm gonna say this though.
He
We keep
he
getting
wins games. He wins games. He wins games.
Who wins
That's
talking about
games?
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G wins games.
Jimmy G
I don't.
wins games.
Hey, listen. I don't understand it. Literally, they play the game with Jimmy G and literally take him out of the game plan, and they win. But if they do it with any other quarterback,
They lose.
they lose. I don't understand it.
You know what that's a sign of? Being a good quarterback. That's a sign of being a good quarterback, dog. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
If the sign of being a good quarterback is, whoa, you almost threw one of the worst passes we've ever seen in playoff history. You're done.
Okay, that was
Now
one
we gonna
play.
win the game.
But
I
the
don't get
rest
it.
of the plays and the rest of the passes he had was dots.
Fam, he only threw for 117 yards.
Right, but the thing
No, he
is,
was 136. Give
he
him his
made
other
the
7.
drive
Oh, my bad.
No,
He made the drive happen when he needed to.
he made the draft, and at the same time,
No, he didn't.
no,
Yes,
but
he
at the same
did.
time, they
They
had a
didn't
lot
get
of
an
drops.
offensive touchdown.
They had a lot of drops.
He drove him down there for the field goal.
He did drive him down there. He did.
Yo,
He did.
Hold up. No,
This
this is
is
the thing.
why.
No,
Two dots up the middle
this is
and
the
2
thing.
running plays.
Am I tweaking? Was the field goal not the first score they had of the game?
What?
The field goal was the first score they had of the game.
No,
first,
here's the thing though. None of them scored an offensive touchdown.
Yes,
Like Aaron Rodgers
Packers
don't have
did.
a
The Packers
touchdown.
ran in a touchdown.
Well, they ran in a touchdown, but Aaron Rodgers didn't score a touchdown. Like he didn't. There's not a registered touchdown there, and he threw a lot.
No, I get that, and we can kill Rodgers for that later. But let's not laud Jimmy G for driving them down there for a field goal when that was like their first field goal of the game, wasn't it? Or was the first field goal off
We're
the
talking
target?
about for them to win the game. He drove it down there to get in field goal position to win the game. They won by 3.
That's right. The first field goal was off of the what they do on special teams. It wasn't a block punt. What was the other one?
It was a block punt.
The block punt was a touchdown, though.
Yeah.
What was the other one? They got a field goal off another one.
They blocked the field goal. They did block a field goal, and they
blocked
the
field goal. That was the other one. Yeah.
So the special team showed up in a major way. Now, let's not get that twisted. Special teams did win the game.
Hey, it's wild.
Special teams won the game. But both QBs had moments where, like Jimmy G had a segment in that game where he was like, okay, he looked like he's outplaying, and everyone has said it. So we can hate him if we want to, but the man's getting it done for some odd reason. Like, in a good way. So if you put him in Green Bay, there's a problem there if they could keep their team intact. There's a legit problem there.
No, yeah. If you can listen, and this is the thing, right? Jimmy G would be the best of the options they might get. There's a team in place there. There's absolutely a team in place there. And so, like, I'm excited as a Bears fan. By the way, 70 in the building. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm excited as a Bears fan that there's a possibility that Aaron Rodgers is leaving the division, but that doesn't mean that there might not be a Russell Wilson coming back. It doesn't mean that there might not be a Derrick Carr coming back. It doesn't mean that I don't know, Derrick Carr been in the heat for a little while. He might not want to come back to this. You know what I'm saying, though? It doesn't mean that there's not a good quarterback coming back because there's a system in place.
Yep.
And with an offensive line like that, if you listen, I'm going to be real with you. Now an injury-prone player, but a Tyrod Taylor behind that offensive line when healthy is a good player. With a good running game in place, now no wide receivers if Devontae Adams leaves. But with a good running back in place, there's a system in place there for a mediocre quarterback to be average. And that can do a lot for you if you've got a good defense. And the Packers showed, at least in the second half of that season, that they seemingly have a good defense. I like Jay Crit. Jimmy G is aight sometimes. Hey, but he does win. Jimmy is absolutely the ultimate game manager. But I swear to you this. They take him out of the game. They didn't let him throw the ball in Dallas. They stopped him from throwing the ball until they had to let him throw the ball out in that Packers game. If they had done that with Trey Lance, they would have lost. I don't know
I promise
why.
you, it's just the system.
I get that it's the system,
It's
but
the
I mean,
system.
but they don't ask him to do much. Like literally, they just be like until he throws, like they like, all right, go ahead, throw the ball, throw it. Ooh, no, never mind. Reel it back. We finna start running it.
I think he overreacts on some of those plays, like the coach. I really do, because Jimmy G will have a string of good plays, and then it'd be like, all right, that one wasn't so hot. And it's like, well, every QB goes through that. Like every QB goes through that. He'd be like, all right, we're gonna run it. But then at the same time, if you look at his game plan is literally to mix it up so much. You really don't know what the next play is.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, that's why they're consistent in winning. Because
I
they
think,
have good backs, and he
but you know
uses
what?
them well.
Is
It's
that
a system.
it's absolutely the system. But is that taking away from what Jimmy G can do, or is that understanding the quarterback you have and knowing that this is the best way to win with him?
I don't know if we can say that, because I'll be honest. I don't think any QB is going to average more than 3,500 yards in that system, because that's just the way he calls the game.
I mean, Matt
Jimmy G
Ryan,
just like
Ryan in that system almost threw for 5,000 yards.
Matt Ryan in that system. They didn't run the ball like that. They really didn't run the ball like that.
No, not really.
No, not really. But I'm saying, like, he switched the system. You know what I'm
And
saying?
Matt Ryan didn't have the backs. Or that team didn't have the backs.
But what
at
I'm
all.
saying is, like, he's adjusting to the players that he has. Like, it's not like Kyle Shanahan can't have a passing QB there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that he understands. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with Ryan Tannehill, they didn't. I don't think they understood what they had, and they saw that first year, and they were like, "Oh, Ryan can throw it again." And then you started, every time Ryan would get in the playoffs, they'd be like, "No, we got to go pass heavy now, because that's what's gonna get us the dub." And we like,
Exactly.
"Oh,
Nah,
that's not the move." And they've done that for the last 3 years. Since Ryan Tannehill has been there, they've relied on Ryan's arm in the playoffs way too much, and it's cost them games. And the last one, it absolutely cost them games. Ryan Tannehill was the best quarterback on the field for the Bengals. Best quarterback on the field for the Bengals.
That's a good one.
And so, like, I look at like Jimmy G coming to Green Bay. That's probably the best of the options. Because there's a lot of good quarterbacks. If Aaron Rodgers does leave, and if you're just joining us, the breaking news on the table right now: the Broncos have hired Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett to come over and be their new head coach. So that's a play probably to get Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay into Denver, possibly take Devontae Adams with them. To me, I look at, if you're talking about who's coming into the division next, that there's still a lot of, to me, there's a lot of allure to come to the Packers when you're talking about the team that's in place right there, and a head coach that's in place that can call plays.
They can call plays.
I think that don't claim the division yet, Bears fans. That's all I'm gonna say.
How about actually win something?
Don't claim the division yet.
Let's just focus on actually winning something first. Like we have to have a real honest look at ourselves and as a fan base and be like, hey, listen, I know we're excited.
Yeah.
But nothing happened yet. We ain't won nothing yet. We ain't did nothing yet. A lot of the pieces that we are like really excited about still got a lot to prove.
Ain't did nothing yet.
You still got a lot to prove. So it's like we can have these debates about who's better than this, that, and the other. Until I see it on the field, there's nothing to talk about, and there's nothing for you to stand on.
Yeah.
Shut up and just let it work out.
No, facts. It's an interesting conversation to have, but you don't even know if your people, you know what I'm saying? Like, we feel good about Justin. We think Justin's gonna be good. We think. We got to see it. I think a lot of things.
Gotta see it.
I think pancakes are better than waffles. And don't mean
now that's a fact.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
that's a pure
hey,
fact. I
hey,
don't know
listen,
why you
hey, listen.
think that.
No,
That's a
hey,
fact.
I'm telling you. I never understand people that pick waffles over pancakes every time. It's like, man, you know what you got to go through to make the perfect waffle, dog? Meanwhile, I just got to flip this thing, and it's halfway there. No, appreciate y'all for pulling up. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We were breaking down a little bit of Dan Quinn. We were breaking down a little bit of what the Bears could do. And then this Broncos news broke. And to me, it just makes the Bears hire right now all the more important. And in this situation, right? Say that Jim Caldwell is the best head coach to win with this team next season. But Dan Quinn might be the best head coach to win with this team long term. With the division possibly in limbo right now, if Aaron Rodgers ends up leaving, where do you go with it? Not saying that Jim Caldwell wouldn't have continued success, but that, age is going to come into factor at some point. Bruce Arians has been in Tampa, what, 4 years now? 5 years? 4 years?
I'm safe 4.
And they're already like, all right, dude, you're getting kind of old. You okay? Like, you've already had like a heart attack on the sidelines, essentially. We just want to make sure you want to do this again. Who would you go with in that situation? Caldwell with the quick success, or Quinn with the long-term success? Because I think both are a possibility.
You give him how many years? You giving him 4 years?
67. I mean, you got to win right. 67, you got to win right away if you're going to give him
He'd be
4
Pete
years.
Carroll's age by the time
He'd be Pete Carroll's age within 3 years.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna go with Caldwell because my defense is older, and they're on the timeline. My rookie QB only has 3 years left on his deal before we have to decide whether or not we're gonna pay him long term or not. So I need to get him somebody that's gonna fast track this as much as possible. Because if he doesn't progress the way we want, then we're not gonna resign him like we didn't resign Biscuits.
True.
So it's like, you have a lot of pressure on these next couple
you've
of
still
years.
got the offensive minded guy in place for to build that offensive lineup as your GM.
Yeah.
Nothing changes about that. So
you have to go with the older guy that can give you quick success, because we just have too many pieces on the team that are on the clock.
yeah.
How long are we gonna keep Mac? How long are we gonna, like, Smith and everything be good, but Khalil Mack's still our best defensive player. Arguably. So it's like, it's one of those things that you have to sit there and think about.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong either way if you're talking about the first 3-4 years, but if you're talking about 5 or more, that's a stretch.
Well,
That's a stretch.
that's what you know what I'm saying? Because to me, like, I'm thinking, when you're thinking long-term success, when I'm thinking of what's going to be the best situation for your long-term success, in that, like, I think that it would take longer because you'd have two guys trying to build up both sides of the line with no picks. You know what I'm saying? You would have Ryan Poles trying to build up your offensive line while Dan Quinn wants to focus on the defensive line as well, which could both be good, because we already know that those are the two sides of the ball that are most important for the team's success. But that's going to take longer to happen.
They're not that far off. The lines aren't that bad on either side. They're okay.
Your offensive line is pretty bad.
It's okay, but half of that is, to me, scheme, as well as you might be one or two players, away.
There's scheme there, but there's also moments where, like, they just didn't know what to do. And I'm sorry, like, I love Jason Peters. Jason Peters is a mammoth of a man. He's welcome on the show anytime. Please don't hurt me. But there was multiple times last season where Jason Peters was just blocking nobody. And that's not scheme. That's like, hey, dude, you're a Hall of Famer. I would expect you to know to block the dude that's trying to get past you. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean,
there's scheme as well, but you also have to. We attribute so much to coaching and scheme, which a ton of it is, but there's still an onus that has to go on the players. There was a lot of times where the players last year looked terrible. And
yeah, but
on the offensive line, we saw that the most. Jermaine Ifedi is basically just a human turnstile. I see him at Menards every time I walk through.
now I think he was one of the most egregious of all of them. Yes. So what I'm saying is, but it's a unit. You
I
attack
see
the
him every
weakness.
time I go to Menards, dog. I just walk through. I be
Yeah.
like, Robert, what's going on? I spin it like 4 times.
Right, turnstile. I think that, but you attack the weakness, right? You don't attack his strength regardless. To me, you got some building blocks. I don't think the jury's out on Tevin. I think he has the potential to be a good player. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer or that. I think he's a good
I
left
just need
tackle.
him
At
to be
least let's
good at his
see.
job.
Yeah, but he was coming on. You talk about no real experience. 6 games, I think it was. I'm okay. I just think we're probably one player away. It's not like we got to totally rebuild the whole line. But and on the
I don't know if
defensive
you.
line,
I
the
don't know.
defensive line is getting old. That's all.
Well, Akeem is probably gone. Akeem Hicks is
Mhm.
probably gone. You're probably
But he was
putting Goldman in that spot.
no, he's the nose tackle. He's Hicks was but that's the only problem. Hicks was the engine of that defense. Like when the minute he's out, the fire is gone when Hicks is gone.
Yeah.
So we got to get that new dog in there.
And it's I don't know. I feel like there's more to fix on the offensive line than the defensive line. Because I love Cody Whitehair, but Cody Whitehair was not good last year either. He was good in the run, was not good in pass pro. James Daniels was hurt a lot of that season. I'm trusting that the offensive linemen in the league that I've talked to, or the former offensive linemen in the league that I've talked to, I'm trusting their opinion on it when they say James Daniels is really good and has great technique and is really the best lineman on that line.
Yeah.
I'll believe y'all on that. I never played offensive line. Shout out to y'all. Like I said before, I would move Tevin to right and hope that my new GM, who was an offensive lineman, can identify me a really good left tackle. That's already good. Because no matter what, coming into next season, Justin Fields, I sent y'all the video yesterday. When Justin Fields has a clean pocket, he's a completely different quarterback.
Right.
When he's running for his life, when he snaps the ball, turns around, there's 4 men trying to take him down. Take that however you want. He's a completely different quarterback.
Yeah, but I feel like if there was more creativity of design rollouts and things of that nature where, I mean, like
it's hard to roll out. It's hard to roll out when the 4 dudes in front of you fall over.
I mean, no, that's dude. You can put in multiple, tight ends, jumbo sets. There's a lot of things you could have done. Nagy was not creative. We know that. There's things he could have done that would have helped that line out. Now they may not, and the problem is, to your point though, because were they that bad where they couldn't execute a proper screen? When I saw, so it's I don't know, 6 and 1/2 dozen other maybe, but I think that there was a lack of creativity in general to allow, the line to. You can't put that much on the line if you know what your line is about. Instead of sitting the guy back there trying to sit there for 5, 6, 7 seconds, he can't do that. So halfback screens. I mean, I'm still mad that they never utilized the 2 running backs. That just always confused me.
I give it a lot. Scheme, it gets a lot from me. Matt Nagy's scheme was terrible. His blocking, I don't know what Juan Castillo's blocking scheme was, or if one was ever even in place. Thank God we brought him into the building, the great Juan Castillo.
Castillo.
Here's a question I gotta ask. If Matt Nagy stayed just an extra year, do you think Justin gets better?
No.
Do you think anybody gets better?
No,
because we've seen him like it's like you said, we saw him with multiple quarterbacks. We saw him with his guy. We saw him with, you know what I'm saying? We saw him with a ton of different options. And we saw the same result out of everyone. And it's tough for me to believe that no matter the quarterback that goes in there, they all look the same.
He was running a trash panda offense. It's like
Trash panda. I don't even
Yeah,
know what
that's what I
that
was
means.
calling
I just want to
Raccoon.
A raccoon offense? Is that what you just
not yeah,
a
not Bears.
raccoon offense? I had to
They
think of
weren't
what a
Bears.
trash panda was.
They weren't Bears, they were raccoons.
I mean, we also seen him lie on Justin. So
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Matt
he-
Nagy as a person seems to be a piece of garbage the more that comes out about him every day.
Like,
Like, you know what I'm
Still a piece of garbage.
we seen him lie on Justin already. Like, he's not getting better. He wasn't getting better.
So can we trash any of the players that came up during his tenure? Did we really get a fair shake at who they are? not the QB, any of them.
No, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. There's talent. Like, I bet you the next coach that comes in, it's going to be just like 2018, and he's going to get it. I just don't want a flash in the pan kind of situation.
Javon Williams
we
sucked.
build on this?
Javon Williams is trash.
We can trash. You can still trash players because at a minimum, right? Like there's moments where it is the scheme. There's moments where, listen, you gave Jason Peters no help on the left side versus Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is 25 years old, 26 years old.
And
Jason Peters is
PEDs
39
every other day.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't understand how you don't help him. That's trash system. That's not helping your left tackle out. But there's moments in games where it's not Myles Garrett on the other side, where Jason Peters is one-on-one, and you should be able to keep that man in front of you who is up there in age as well. And Jason Peters was like, oh, look, there he goes.
Against who?
Just going through the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? That there was a lot of games where it wasn't Myles Garrett on the other side. It was
Right.
and it's against defenses that you're coming in and you're like, well, their defensive line is pretty terrible. We should be okay. Wow, 5 sacks on Justin Fields. That's pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, scheme does play a part in it, but you also have to hold players accountable for doing their jobs. And there's times where the players did not do their job.
Okay. What was the video that you sent yesterday with Trubisky where he was it Miller?
Oh, and versus the Buccaneers?
No, against was it Atlanta? Dude had
don't give me the one with the you sent
like I was so happy. I was so happy to see what was it, Miller? I was so happy to see him gone because he dropped more
Anthony
passes.
Miller.
Oh, I see you, Jay Crit. I see you out there, man. You funny, man. Dude, like, yeah, the players, it is a combination, but there was some bad players. Like Miller was the worst to me. Like, I couldn't believe how many passes
Anthony Miller was never the same once he dislocated his shoulder.
But
Anthony Miller was a really good wide receiver, and then he dislocated his shoulder, and he could not catch anymore.
Well, okay, fine. But still drop passes. It hit your hands.
I'm sorry.
And you're getting paid. You can't be out there.
Fam, once he dislocated, the problem with him was, right, so he had to change. Now, this is just what I saw. Could be all fiction. To me, he had to change how he caught the ball because he kept getting hit when he would catch it, and his shoulder would pop out again.
Okay, hey, listen. Yeah,
like we saw that a couple of times.
That
remember
hurt
what
me
was
just
it?
thinking about it.
There was a game last year. He caught the touchdown, but he had to put his body on the line for it. Got hit, came down, and you saw him on the side trying to push down on his arm to pop his shoulder back in place, and he couldn't do it. He was trying to fight through the pain and just pop it back in. He couldn't do it. So the thing is, when you pop your shoulder out, or when you pop something out, you can do it every time. Some people get to the point where they can do it at will. You know what I'm saying? So,
whatever, man. He dropped passes.
Hey, that joint hurt.
No, I give it to you. He did drop passes, but I look at Anthony Miller different than I look at Javon Williams. Javon Williams just dropped passes. Javon Williams would be like, turn around, 6'4", jump in the air, nobody in front of him, hit him in the hands, ball will hit the ground. How's that possible? You play wide receiver. You work on a jugs machine all day, every day. You should be anyway. I would hope so. How's that even possible? Anthony Miller, I give a little more leeway, even though you still come with that cocky attitude and you dropping a lot of passes.
Right. I mean, you're on the field, man.
You on the field.
If
you're on the field, do your job. I'm with you.
Cole Kmet's on the I want him. He's on the fence for me. I'm ready to kind of move from that too.
Cole is interesting, but you know what? This is the thing, right?
Nah, that's a scheme
With
affected player.
that's hey,
You think
dog.
so? I
That
feel like he
player is
drops a lot of.
affected by
I
scheme,
think he drops a
dog.
lot of
Nah,
passes. man.
Cole started to come on.
Hey, Andy Dalton was dying him
Me.
up nice.
Really?
Andy Dalton made
I
Cole
told
Kmet
y'all
look good.
Cole was nice. Cole was
Cole with
nice.
Justin
Bears
has some
don't
good
use him
games.
right.
Cole with
Cole
Justin
with
has some
Justin
good
had
games.
one good game, but with Andy Dalton, every time Andy Dalton was on the field, Cole looked elite.
Yeah, but the
I don't know
problem
what
was
this-
he couldn't. The problem
elite
was he
to
couldn't come
stretch.
down with touchdowns.
Well, for tight ends, I mean, every tight end was pretty much low production for the most part. I mean,
Yeah,
this
but
season.
this is the thing. As my tight end, I need you in one moment. The reason
Pretty
the tight end
much.
position the reason the tight end position was created was because I need a 6'7" guy that can box out
Yeah.
and
I mean,
can't really play basketball. So come on over here and just be 6'7" and box out and catch the ball in the end zone.
Dude, he had no touchdowns this year. He had 612 receiving yards, 0 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns
that's
last
bad.
year.
Hey,
That's
look.
bad.
Hey, look.
Time out. That's a Bears problem.
No, but he
The
got the
Bears
opportunity.
barely got down
He
there. All right?
he
I mean, they
absolutely
give
got the
Jimmy Graham. I
opportunity.
think Jimmy Graham got more
Jimmy Graham got all
love
of
and
Jimmy Graham has how many TDs?
Jimmy Graham got like 6 TDs on the year.
Jimmy Graham has, survey says,
Three.
Three.
He got 3.
And
Hey, guess what?
167 pass. Okay, scheme.
Scheme. That's
terrible.
scheme.
But Cole Kmet's dropped a lot of pass. There was a lot of third down drives where we needed them to catch the ball, and he did not do it.
Yeah.
We were terrible on third down.
Terrible on fourth too, because we went for that. At the
Actually,
end of the
no, we weren't. Hey,
Yeah.
only in that game. On 4th down, the Bears actually was decent. And in that game, Matt Nagy was like, 4th and 1, we're passing. Why? Because I'm getting fired tomorrow. Oh, okay.
I'm getting fired. So
we're going to drop
I'ma
every
make
last
this
pass. Hey, Matt Nagy's getting fired tomorrow, 4 for 1. Didn't catch it. Okay. That's okay. That's what happened. A lot of the players was getting him up out of there, dog.
Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in with us this
I
morning,
just-
man. Just
You know what I would
switch it.
like to see?
Go ahead.
What I
with
would
it.
like to see is my man Poles comes in, and is it just a whole new day of new scouting, a whole new whatever? Like, because whoever's been here, if people have been here a long time, I just want a clean house and get a whole new hierarchy. So who's going to be the director of pro scouting, the director of college scouting, and just see that we can get some real talent, some sustainable talent? Because it's like, I still don't understand how you draft Kmet when we needed linemen, and you take him like the second round.
I was actually in favor of that because he was still on the board. If he get the right QB, he gonna be a dog.
I agree.
We'll see this year. We'll see what he
got.
got.
When he was at Notre Dame, he never dropped nothing. He never dropped nothing. He go block. It's not like he's a waste of space. They on NBC every week. Like,
I just felt like if you
he was doing what he's supposed to do. He's just not getting a fair look.
But if you sign Jimmy Graham, and you barely use the tight end as it is anyways, and then you draft this dude
and leave Jalen Johnson by himself out there because you signed Jimmy Graham for Kyle Fuller's money.
Yeah. Because you had Adam Shaheen and he was a bust.
Yep.
So it's like, what are we doing at this? So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I didn't say get rid of him. He's just on the fence for me. Like he's not catching, and maybe this whole new regime comes in and there's a resurgence that he can be the player that we hope that he could be then.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of questions that we start to see getting answered next season based on who we bring in.
Yeah.
And it's
going to be this offense is.
That's what it's going to be. And it's going to be interesting to see if who Dan Quinn would bring in for the offense. I mean, to me, it's interesting to see because we like both. I think just based on the scenario that these two are the finalists, we like both Quinn and Caldwell. Is there a situation where Caldwell maybe says, I just want to get back in the game, comes back to be an OC for Quinn? Because in that situation, to me, you're talking about continued success. Because at that point, he gets in as an OC. he's probably not going to get another bite at the apple at head coach outside of this. Is there, you know what I'm saying? Like you can hold on to your OC in that situation. You don't have to worry about him leaving until he's finally done with football altogether.
I see.
And to me,
that's
an interesting situation with even bringing Vic Fangio into the building again. Now, I don't know if he comes in with Dan Quinn at all, but you know what I'm saying? Like those older guys that have had a bite at the head coaching apple, that still have a lot of football knowledge, still understand the game, and you put them out there to be head coaches and they fail or they just get to the point where the league kind of passes them by.
Yeah.
Those are the best guys to have as coordinators because they just like, even when Pagano was here, if Pagano was successful, I would have loved Pagano as a coordinator because he's like, man, I'm too old to be a head coach. I'm tired.
Fangio should have never been a head coach. He should have just basically he was a lifer. And
yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be that successful when he went to Denver. And now again, he couldn't have a quarterback.
Never had a quarterback.
Makes it hard. But it's like, all right, yeah. I mean, would it be great for him to come back basically to the team that he built, the defense that he built?
Yeah.
You know, with a Dan Quinn, and then, like you said, create this brain trust. That's fine. Like I said, I just want some guys. One, they've been there. Would John Fox have been successful if Cutler was a better quarterback, or he brought quality. He brought the defense. He brought Fangio and Gase. Then Gase goes and leaves. You know, Gase was whatever, but you know, like we never got a chance to see that really, mature, come to fruition like that. So maybe now new top guy gets his people in place, and maybe we can have something where we got a nice run for 10 years. Don't have to end up with all Super Bowls at least, but we're relevant in the playoffs every year, winning our division.
Got to give me a minimum one.
Give me like 2 Super Bowls.
Got to give me a minute. Hey, listen. I'm not greedy at this point. Give me one. Let's start with one. We'll work our way up from there. You know what I'm saying? If we get 2, great job. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I just want to be in the playoffs every year.
Just give me a Baltimore, Kansas City, Pittsburgh. I just want to, instead of us always being laughed at on national television. Like I'm tired of wearing my custom Holt. First of all, this is a Holt jersey. I had this first before Fields even was drafted. I had this for a couple of years. I want to be proud to wear my jersey. Now I gotta go buy a whole new number.
Hey, how we feel about that though? How do we feel about the custom name on the jersey, dog? I feel like a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's not cheesy. Are you kidding me? Oh, I get it. You know what? It's levels to this, Pat.
Hey, bro, you can't let them talk to you like that. I mean, I got my name on the back of a jersey too, man.
Yeah, like
y'all doing the custom name on the jersey?
Why would I
never have to?
You seen the custom? You seen it
on what jersey?
It's a baseball jersey.
Oh, that's different though. That's different. I'm talking about on the sports. You know what I'm saying? Like on the Bears. Like that's a Jay Holt jersey.
That'd be great.
Hey, it's not. I'm just saying. I'm not a fan.
Hey, man. Hey, hold. I got you, man.
My last name is Kidd. I never had to get a custom jersey.
I never had to get a custom jersey. There was always somebody playing. Maybe, you know what? Holt's not a bad last name, though. Like, I feel like Holt, somebody would look at it and be like, oh, yeah, he played on the 85 Bears, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they would just assume that that's an 85 Bear. Like, that's not a bad name to throw on there. You throw my last name on there, Mud's going to be like, did you really get the custom jersey? But
he was the kicker. But you got a kicker's last name.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to throw that on an obscure team. I'm going to go get a Canadian football jersey and see.
Well, I can go buy a Torrey Holt Rams jersey easy. I don't have to make that custom.
Yeah, see, I don't have nobody that's got my last name. My family ain't been successful in sports. You know what I mean? Like,
and there was a Pierce Holt too. A Pierce Holt for the 49ers back in the day.
Okay, just rub it in, dude. Just rub it in.
That's only 2. There's only 2 Holts that I know in the NFL.
Is there Redmond in the game? Is there Redmond?
Dude, it used to be on the Patriots. 2000.
Oh, he definitely was holding for Gostkowski.
And it was a Redmond on the Packers actually.
Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, you can't
pull
that
one back in the chat. We got Jay Jonah in the chat. What's going on, baby?
Hey, Jay Jonah was cracking us up last night in the chat, man. Shout out to Jay Jonah. Jay Jonah was in the chat last night, literally just like fire Billy Donovan the second he walked in the chat. I was like, good Lord.
Shout out to Jalen Martin too. That's so funny. Well, Jay Jonah is like, he's got a fraud list. Like he's so Jay Jonah is hilarious. So he's ready to go hard every time. Fire Billy. What happened? Did we just lose Pat?
No, it's all good. Hey, let's move into
Okay.
some different type of talk. I know that
We switching?
came
What are we
in.
switching?
We switch it up. I want to cook Ringo again because he was a Giants fan. He liked Daniel Jones for some odd reason.
Oh, we're still on
Whoa,
football. Okay.
whoa.
We're still
I
on
want-
football. We're still on
Time
football.
out, time
I
out,
was
I
very
want to cook him
specific.
real quick.
Time out. We cannot be capping to the American people this early. We cannot
The
be
American people.
God.
Hey, listen, are you not a Giants fan?
Somebody is gonna see this and assume that
Are you not a Giants fan?
I'm not
Hey,
a
that
Daniel.
fandom
I'm
is
not a
faulty.
Daniel. No, you said Daniel Jones.
Okay, Daniel Jones is the guy at the helm of your team.
Yep.
Right. He is.
Oh, right.
Right. But you saying that like I'm finna go to bat for him all rip every time.
Hey, he is about to rip Daniel Jones a new one in this one.
Listen, Daniel Jones is probably staying with the Giants.
The GM did stand with his young QB. He said, we've probably done the most to hurt this kid at every turn. Does that take them out of the vet QB
Hold on, wait.
conversation?
That's a good admission right there by GM. I kind of like that.
No, you heard him when you drafted him. You heard him when you drafted him, bro.
No, well, let's look at to why the GM.
I think Daniel Jones has the potential. I think he has the potential to be, a good quarterback. I think that all the pieces around. He's athletic.
Okay.
Ringo stressed.
Okay, so I told I'm gonna say it again. He makes all the throws. He's nice. He Peyton and Eli was like was mentoring him. I get it. Cool. He cannot hold on to the football at all. He has a fumbling problem and he has an interception problem.
Don't they have a bad line?
The fact that you went to the Senior Bowl. He played one drive. And then Getterman was
fair.
like, "That's our dude."
Let's be fair. First of all, this is great leadership right here.
I said the GM. My bad. I meant the owner on that.
He can run. He can run. He's athletic.
Hold on, but this is still great leadership here.
Yeah,
the owner is pretty much saying, "Hey, listen, we effed this up.
It's about time."
Well, I mean, that's but now it's here. Like you can complain about it, but how long it's been, but he's saying it, right? So now that he's saying it, now that he's saying it, it's like he's saying it, and he's put up definitive action. Like, hey, we're gonna bring in a new staff, we're gonna build a team around him and accentuate what he does best. I like when owners are getting involved and taking definitive action. At least we know you're taking definitive action. It's not my fault that you don't like the action.
When it's not our team.
When it's not our team.
Do you know how much Joe Judge is getting paid to sit at the crib right now?
What's he got? 2 years left on his deal?
We're not saying that the Giants didn't mess up. What I am saying is what I told you the entire time. You brought Daniel Jones on the field, and the best weapon that he had was a running back with no offensive line.
Right, the line's trash.
No, the right side of the line.
Your line's trash.
The line that means it's bad. You can't have
Saquon. You can't have a side of the line. And like I said, the right side of our line's trash too. Guess what? Justin Fields ended up on the ground.
And that's where they attacked the weakness.
I'm trying to figure this part out. How do you have this take about Daniel Jones when even as trash as he was, he performed better than Justin Fields?
Because
he's still pretty trash though.
He did.
He's still pretty trash.
That line's bad, but dude,
this is why I tell you.
They both played trash their rookie seasons, but Daniel Jones' rookie season was better.
This is why I tell you,
it's a higher level of trash.
The numbers are going to lie to you. He's trash. The numbers are lying to you.
No. The numbers don't
Hey,
lie to me
hey,
because
this,
I saw Justin Fields' rookie season. It was trash.
no, but this is the
The
thing you got
only
to
thing
look at
that's
with
going
Jones.
on with Justin Fields is the fact that we like his college career, but he was trash.
Well, I think the difference is that Daniel Jones was afforded the opportunity to actually be the starter, come in there, be the man, and was anointed. Where the Bears bungled all of it. It was like, well, he's not taking first reps, he's not really playing, and then they didn't prepare him where he gets out there and looks horrible against Cleveland. But I think it was pressure to start him in general because you're right. I think that because of his college career and the hype of him, I think the NFL wanted to see him. They put him on national television, national televised games. We wanted to see him. They wanted to see him week 1 against the Rams.
That was a good move not to do that.
So I just think that in general
play.
they didn't do a good job setting him up, anyways.
I think that's them not making a decision, and that's the biggest problem. I wouldn't have mind seeing him week 1 against the Rams. I mean, heck, it's not like he's not going to have to face defenses that are going to kick his head in anyway, which he had to face anyway. But
we did see him. We did see him because he ran.
Dan Jones
They ran
nice backup.
Well, they ran gadget plays for him with the Rams. So we saw a little bit, but it was like the way that they didn't prep him to be successful, like the stuff that they gave him. It was silly.
No.
But Daniel Jones
that
was like
that, even that, like that was mad again. I said, I had the video. I said if Andy Dalton's going to be the starter, Justin Fields should not be getting first team reps. And everybody was killing me. You have to prepare him. He shouldn't be prepared because he's not going to play. Matt Nagy told y'all that. Trey Lance did not get first team reps. Jordan Love does not get first team reps.
Right.
If he's going to play, you give him first team reps. Or if you're going to make it a competition, you give him first team reps.
But they didn't even give him the
competition. The difference between Daniel Jones and Justin Fields is just Daniel Jones got first team reps.
Right.
His rookie year. Daniel Jones, or no, was Eli? No. Was Eli still there?
Hey, listen, Daniel Jones
Eli was gone.
Eli was gone. So Daniel Jones got first team
weapon.
reps his rookie year.
Name.
But he was anointed.
Name his weapons.
Didn't he have Odell for 1 year? Did he have Odell for 1 year?
No,
they got rid of Odell same year.
So Shepard,
we paid him and then traded him.
Right, and Shepard was his number one. But he
Name
was
his
hurt.
weapons.
Okay.
Evan Ingram.
I got you. So the weapons he got: Saquon, Evan Ingram. Wait, you talking about now or just?
You talking about his rookie year?
Saquon, Evan Ingram.
Just named another running back that doesn't catch passes.
Same dudes. Hey, no, that's the difference. It's same dudes.
Same.
Saquon,
Shepard.
Evan Ingram, Shepard, and Slayton, and then the rest of the nobodies.
Yeah, but
so
the
a bunch
line's
of people
still
who
bad.
wouldn't.
The defense
a
is
bunch
not
of people
good.
who wouldn't be, except for one guy. A bunch of people who was like, he just named a name.
It's just not a good team. The defense isn't good.
Evan Ingram nice.
Now, see the one
Is he really?
The one thing I can't say. The one thing I can't say. Late last season, the defense started to come on, and he was like, okay, well maybe if we hold on to the ball, we might have something here because we had money. We had money. We still gonna have money. The problem is you put that in the Kenny Galladay, who did absolutely nothing to sit on the bench for you the whole time because half of the time he was hurt.
Yeah,
right.
So it seems like all the stuff you're saying coincides with the stuff that the owner said, that they did everything in their possible to screw this kid up.
How many turnovers he's had.
It's like you're like proving the owner's point. It's like, yeah, we effed up. We paid people that shouldn't have been there. We did this, that, and the other. Like you kind of just said that. So it's
but then if you go look at like actual play, including how many turnovers he's had, including fumbles since he's been in the league, you will see why we
20 fumbles.
You will see why we have to get rid of
first season. He had 24
fumbles.
TDs and 12 INTs. I mean, it was not a bad rookie season from that.
But a lot of fumbles though.
A lot of fumbles.
A lot of fumbles. A lot of fumbles.
He has his hangups, but I don't think he's someone that you just gotta throw away. I think you can build around him, but the team is just not a good team.
He's
So,
apparently
Like,
also one of the most sacked
I'm not
QBs in the
gonna
league
lie.
too,
The only thing I like,
oh yeah,
the only two things I like about him is that he
outside of Joe Burrow.
he can. Well, hey, Joe Shiesty out here. Hey,
Joe Shiesty is gonna end up on a milk carton because he's gonna end up missing in one of these playoff
I
games
promise you,
if
they
they don't
still win
protect
that
him.
game.
I
Though.
promise you.
They're still gonna win. They still gonna win that game.
Yeah, they're gonna win at the expense of his career.
He lost the knee. He lost the knee already.
Hey, Joey B is gonna be sitting there smoking cigars in a stretcher. That's it's the way they keep laying him out. I mean, good Lord, it's not fun watching them play.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna move on from the Giants, man, because obviously you kind of pressed.
I know I'm having fun with it.
Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. There's nobody on this team that strikes fear in my heart that I even care about except for Saquon. And guess what? He was hurt. So at that point, you
he's
get him.
Probably done anyways.
I'd like Saquon a lot better if they took him in the 5th round and not first overall.
Oh, hold on. Check that out. Now how can you kill him? Because he didn't have Saquon this entire time. Saquon was done for a season and a half.
Hey, fam, I can kill him. I can kill him because if you build your offensive line up and don't take a running back, guess what? He might not be on his back most of the season, and having Saquon won't matter.
No.
Because I can put anybody in there.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Daniel Jones because the first weapon he mentioned was Saquon, who wasn't there.
Oh yeah, no. Daniel Jones is in a terrible situation. Daniel Jones is in a awful situation, but it's because the Giants think that getting running backs and getting the quarterback without having an offensive line is an intelligent decision.
Yeah, this ain't the 80s.
When he first got there,
if it was the 80s, it's not an intelligent decision. If it was the 80s, he'd be dead.
The difference is
80s, Daniel Jones would be dead right now. We'd be like,
I'm talking about Saquon. Yeah, if it was the 80s, for a quarterback, dead. The running backs though was thriving for a while. The defenses have caught up because these guys are running 4.5s, 4.3s from the linebacker spot. Like, everybody. It used to be one-offs that guys was running 4.2s and 4.3s on the defense. Now it's like everybody's running that fast.
I'll never forget telling Ringo. I'll never forget telling Ringo when they drafted Saquon that this was the dumbest decision the Giants could have made. And I just love every year. Every year. Just looking and just being like, how many wins did Saquon get you this year?
Yeah, why are we talking about the Giants? Why do we care about
Let's move on to something real quick. I have to mention this because it was something that we mentioned yesterday. But did anyone notice the Kobe Bryant and Gianna statue that someone made and they put it at the crash site?
No, I haven't.
It
doesn't move the needle for me.
It's at the crash site. They put the statue at the crash site. Nice gesture, I get it, but that does not look like Kobe Bryant to me.
Hey man,
it just does not look like Kobe to me.
You gonna kill him
if
for
we
the
go do
homemade
stuff
statue,
like that?
dog?
Can we make it look like him?
You gonna kill him for the homemade statue, dog?
Dog, it looks like KG. Like that don't look like. That's not Kobe at all.
They tried, dog. I don't know what you. I'm not gonna kill him for the homemade statue.
No, hold on, wait. Try harder. Because that
as
is
Kobe
horrible.
Bryant would say.
Hey, no, this is not Mamba mentality.
You use zero Mamba mentality when making this statue.
That's not Kobe Bryant.
Can we see a picture of it? Where is it at?
I'm sending it to you. I'm sending it to you right now.
You share
if we want to post it, I don't want to use Kobe as a butt of a joke, right?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't want that to be the case. But this is a horrible statue. I'm sorry. I'm sending it right now. You can't tell me that's Kobe.
Hey, what you say? This is not Mamba mentality.
He said the statue look like Karan Butler.
No, look at the statue. I just said, hey, Rick, I put it in the chat too. Tell me that's Kobe.
That's not that bad, though.
Negro, please. Come on, dog. Come on, I done watched Kobe Bryant my whole life, dog. That ain't Kobe.
Who is this?
No, no, I don't watch Kobe my
Bro, this
whole
look
life,
like the
dog.
dude from ATL at the end of the credits. Skate Man says, "Get up and try it again." Like, bro.
Dog, I'm sorry.
Don
I
Bird's going
appreciate
off
the
right now.
gesture. I love people wanting to memorialize and you know show respect and celebrate his life and stuff like that. That's not it though, dog. Like you don't when you sit there and put yourself out there for something like that, you know how high profile this is? All right, it can't get any bigger right now. You can't mess it up. And
I
you've
never
messed
got it.
it up.
Let me see it. Nobody sent it to me.
It's in the chat.
Where? Oh. Me no see.
Well, you
Nah, you know who this. You know who this look
hold
like.
down there where that internet don't reach all the way. So
This look like Buddy.
No, that's on your phone, bro. Check your phone.
The statue look
No,
like
it didn't
Buddy
come
off-
yet. I didn't get it.
The statue look like Buddy y'all paid him for the uncle.
Oh, I see it now.
Dog,
How the
that's
heck I
not
get in
him.
airplane mode?
Wow. We can talk
No
about
wonder.
that.
Here
Too.
it comes.
Nah, that's not it. That look like Buddy. That look like an uncle off paid him for, bro.
It do. Dog, come on.
That
Man.
look like
here
the
we
uncle
go.
I paid him for. You can't tell me it don't.
No, that looks like the singer from LTD. Don't you get so mad about it, Jeffrey? What's his name?
all right, we're gonna switch topics before we get canceled by all of the
It
doggone.
does. He looks old.
Hey, you definitely can. It looked like they tried to make like older Kobe Bryant, but they also just kept Gianna the same age, so it doesn't work together.
Yeah.
At the same time, real talk, that thing is huge. If you look at the whole thing, the part that's just him and Gianna is life size. So like it's 6 feet. So it's not a small statue.
Dude, my phone was on. Oh, I got all this information. Look at that.
Wait, so that's a like full size statue there?
That's a full size statue, apparently. I could be wrong, but this bust that dude standing next to right here, before it's finished, look big.
Wait, so this is in place then? I thought this was just something somebody brought. This is something somebody was hired to make.
I don't know if he was hired to do it. I didn't read the full report, but I know Buddy took it upon himself to go to bring that bad boy down there.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Panama
now
Queen.
it's open for a little bit more scrutiny to me then.
Thank
now
you,
we got it.
Panama
Now we
Queen.
got. Hold
Jeffrey
on.
Osborne.
You said what?
You said no. It's small. It's small. Quirk. All right, listen. So what was this other thing he made then? Check your phone, Pat.
I thought this was a. Oh no, that's a different statue, bro.
That
actually looked like Kobe Bryant.
Okay, that statue don't look like Kobe Bryant at all. Zoom in.
Wait,
now that would look more like Kobe to me.
Send it to me.
That would look more like Kobe to me. Here's so for everybody in the chat that's that is trying to figure out what the heck we're talking about. So here is the image on screen here.
Yeah, Jeffrey Osborne, right there.
That's not Kobe.
That looks like the uncle from Paid in Full. Stop playing with me.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
No.
He's more Jeffrey Osborne than that dude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like
KG. It looks more like Louis Gossett Jr.
It does look like KG. I'm getting KG there.
I can see a little
KG there.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just saw a picture of someone standing next to it and it's small. Okay, so this is a smaller version. Even so, though, seems like a professional sculptor based on the other picture we've seen. So, and you put this at the crash site where Kobe and Gianna were. The helicopter went down. Interesting move.
Interesting all the way around.
Steve-O, I'm kind of with you. That's Kobe Wine Kenobi. I'm seeing that. I see that.
Yo.
I appreciate the gesture.
I mean, but that's going to be, when you look at Hall of Fame busts for people, some of them They're able to make it, like the player themselves, and some of them don't necessarily do a good job. It is what it
dog,
is.
there's some terrible Hall of Fame busts in the Hall of Fame.
It is what it is.
There are some Hall of Fame busts that you literally like. I like of recent players that it's just like, fam, I watched this dude his whole career, and you had to too because you older than me to be making Hall of Fame busts.
Bro, the crazy thing about it is I feel like they just so hyped to be in the Hall of Fame. They be like, I don't care about the statue. Just
hey, I would love to see somebody get the Hall of Fame bust and be like, who is this?
Okay. Yeah, Chris sent me the picture. It is smaller. That's cool.
I would love to see somebody get the Hall of Fame bust and just be like, man, that ain't me.
Hey, no, real quick though. So y'all agree?
Oh, Mike. Did Mike Vick? No, not Mike Vick. Who had the They put braids on the thing. They had to change it.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
They made him.
Randy
He
Moss.
made them change it.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, you got Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. Y'all cool with that not being
No, Barry Bonds.
Bring steroids back. Bring steroids back.
So this is a conversation I did want to get into because to me,
he loves talking baseball.
I love baseball,
it, bro.
So this is the thing to me, right? You cannot exclude them from an era when you knew what was happening. And this is why I say writers should not be in charge of voting for who goes into the Hall of Fame. Sure, you have the bias of players, but you still have to have, I would take one great player, one iconic player from every team that played the game, and you have to update it. It cannot be the same player for more than a certain amount of time. I would say every 10 years, because usually about every 10 years there's a new scandal in place. That is, to me, that is the best way to vote on every Hall of Fame there is. Because when you let writers do it, you've got these writers who've been writing for baseball since baseball began, ever since Babe Ruth first swung a bat. And these mugs want to say the integrity of the game is what the game is built on. The game is built on cheating.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about
there has not been 10 years of baseball that have gone through without cheating.
But what did I take it back to what did I think it's what's his name? Eric Patch? I forget his name. He's a writer for ESPN. He said you can't tell the story of baseball
without steroids.
Without putting them two people in there. Because it's like you already knew what was going on, so it's like, yeah, okay, they did do it. But if we're trying to tell the story of what happened in baseball, they're supposed to be included. They should absolutely be included.
There's too many big names that you have to exclude if you're going to go that route.
Like,
there's an era of baseball. It's an entire era. So you're going to exclude the entire era of baseball? When most of us alive now, or at least within our, later 20s and early 30s, that was an era of baseball that we grew up to love. We didn't know what the heck steroids was at the time we started watching that crap.
Yeah.
All I know is A-Rod was hitting it out the park, Sam Sosa hitting out the park, McGuire was hitting out the park, St. Barry Bonds hitting out the park. How many other people hitting out the park? And now at the same time, you've had a scandal every single year, every single decade.
They got a scandal going on with the baseballs right now.
Right now.
There's a baseball scandal. Then you have pitchers using stuff. Well, maybe that's the same scandal.
That's the same thing. The spider tech.
So now, let me get this straight. Is Derrick Cole not going to go down as one of the best?
That's still never not going to be funny though.
I mean, it's always going to be funny. But like, does he not go down as one of the best pitchers?
This is my thing, right? I look at it this way.
I still love the other dude who's like trolling in the MLB that entire time.
But it's funny to me. It's funny to me because it's like I
always forget his name. He was one that called out Cole.
He was the one. I
always forget his name. I don't know why.
Oh, what's Buddy's name? He got the podcast.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite of all time.
I can't think of his name.
Because not only did he call it out, he was like, "Yeah, if I use this too, I guarantee that might be."
Bam, he did use it.
And then he did use
"Hey,
it.
if y'all gonna let us use it, we gonna use it."
Then they got him on trial for something right now. What's his name? Come on, y'all know his name. Baseball's
Josh
not my
Donaldson.
sport.
Player?
Nope. Not Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson.
Not him.
Ryan Bryan?
Ryan. No.
Nope,
It's
not
a
him.
pitcher. It's a pitcher.
He king of trolling. I just like him because I'm petty.
I can't think of his name. He only signs 1-year deals.
And they call him he's a jerk. He's a jerk by all means.
With the sticky stuff on his glove or something?
Fam, who the heck called him out? I can't.
Dog, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer.
Michael Stinson.
Shout out to Michael
Thank
Stinson,
you.
bro. I'm sitting here irritated. I'm like, dog, he only signs 1-year deals.
I was like, dog, he is clearly a very recent and relevant
I
person.
love Trevor Bauer. And he's a really good pitcher too. He's like, hey, listen, if we gonna be cheating out here, I'm getting in on it. All I'm letting you know is, hey, Trevor Bauer in the 90s would have been like, or in the 90s, early 2000s would have been like, hey, listen,
we doing roids?
If we doing roids out here,
sign me up.
I'm getting in on it. You're not gonna knock me out the league. And here's the thing, right? So it's the reason this is a conversation is because of the bias of it. Big Papi absolutely tested positive for PEDs in 2003. We just like Big Papi.
All them dudes, man. To me, who cares?
But Barry Bonds never tested positive.
It was the whole Balco thing because once
Barry Bonds was on the list of people along with Sammy and Mark and all of them that was on the that was exposed. But here's the thing: one, like you said, Barry Bonds never tested positive. Sammy didn't either. I think Barry
didn't like Barry because
Barry's a much tougher argument because Barry it's just like, man, you was 185. How in the world are you 230 and your hat size increased 12 sizes? That don't make sense. But he never tested positive. He never got caught with a positive test. I think there's more of an argument, but I still give him that. And here's the biggest thing of it. Whether you like it or not,
positive for amphetamine.
That's the thing that saved baseball.
Right.
Barry Bonds breaking Babe Ruth's record or Hank Aaron's record. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa going back and forth with the home run battle. That's what saved baseball. And you can say, "Oh no, baseball would have survived." Baseball's struggling to survive right now.
Yeah, nobody cares. 40 home runs.
Baseball can't survive. Baseball can't survive technology. That's what's happening to baseball. Baseball was mad entertaining when you went to the game watching the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Baseball was entertaining when you went to the game watching the game. When I go to the game with my cell phone and I got to sit there for 5 hours and like for me, I can watch the game and be cool. I love baseball. But if I got to go to the game and I'm not somebody who loves baseball and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, ain't nothing happened in 6 innings. Yeah. So nothing's happened in 2.5 hours. If you don't know the ins and out of baseball, that's boring to you. That makes
it was fun as heck when we went. I ain't gonna lie.
No, but this is the thing, right?
There, I have a great time every time I go because I'm trashing everybody in the stands.
But this
it's an atmosphere thing for baseball. It's outside. It's typically warm. It's nice. It's more of an environment thing.
My thing with baseball is
time of your life. I just guarantee that right there.
My thing with baseball is I go to the game and I'm watching the game and I'm like, oh, I like how they shifted the defense on that. Oh, good move by the pitcher there. I like how they catch. Like I'm watching the game. I'm breaking it down because it's a game I grew up playing. Like I'm sitting there. When we went to the game, I'm sitting there yelling at I don't even remember Orlando. Who was it? Cesar Hernandez. Somebody I was yelling at because he missed the bag.
No, that was
I don't remember who it was, but he missed.
It was Collins, wasn't it?
It might have been. He just didn't touch home
it was
plate.
Collins.
He just didn't touch home plate. Like he ran all the way around the bases, didn't touch home plate, so he was out. And it was just like, fam, like it's Little League. Like I go to the game to break the game down. Most people are going to the game for it to be entertaining. There was no more of an entertaining time in baseball than when Barry Bonds was hitting home runs and the home run battle was happening. And when pitchers were throwing, when pitchers were just rearing back and throwing fastballs that were exploding pigeons that were flying through midair. And you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, and he wasn't even on steroids. He just threw really hard. That's the crazy part. He wasn't even on steroids.
Hey, rest in peace to that pigeon.
That pigeon dead in the mud. Randy Johnson killed that man.
Hey, it ended up on somebody's plate.
No, it blew up.
No, it did. Home plate.
I miss my favorite time was probably like for me 93-ish, especially when the Sox were winning. But when King Griffey, you had the King Griffey era was fun, But then the Sox, we were winning with Frank Thomas and Jack McDowell, and we had Albert Bell, Bo Jackson, I think, was there. Like that was some fun stuff at that time. So,
and Albert Bell's a great candidate, right? Because Albert Bell absolutely is a Hall of Famer, absolutely should be, great player,
but they don't like him.
Jerk.
Yeah, they don't like him. It's just like Barry Bonds. They don't like him.
Nobody on his team liked him. You know what Albert Bell said? I'm here to hit home runs and play this game. Get out my face.
One of the greatest.
They said the same thing about Barry though.
Barry Bonds was a jerk, but that's
what I'm saying. They didn't like Barry Bonds.
But Barry Bonds has the cheat. What I'm saying is Barry Bonds has the cheating scandal to go along with it, that he used steroids and stuff like that. But we love Big Papi. Big Papi makes the Hall of Fame. And Big Papi is a Hall of Famer. I'm not taking away from Big Papi's career. But if we gonna keep it a buck, let's keep it a buck. The reason that he's not in the Hall of Fame is because people don't like Barry Bonds. Because Barry Bonds was a jerk. Because Barry Bonds is a dude that comes out and is willing to sue his own kids for like $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame for the simple fact that they have to admit that
he hit more home runs than Hank Aaron.
And they don't want to do that.
Yep.
And they don't think it's fair because he's caught up in that cheating scandal, and they don't want to do that. But you was about to say something about that era.
Who, me?
Yeah, you were in the middle of saying something. We didn't let you finish. That was our fault.
No, I was just saying that it was a good time. I also liked the early 90s period. It was fun for baseball. Even because you had like Dion coming in too. That was like, I know I'm old, but that he's right outside of the steroids era. Like, the whole Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire it also doesn't hurt that's in Chicago too, right? Because you got Sammy for the Cubs. So making baseball relevant again, that was a fun time.
I just think it's kind of dumb because it's like you play your whole career to possibly say that one day I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame, just for them to like snatch it from you because they don't like you. But then not only that, you keep trying to make the Hall of Fame like, oh well, if you come visit Cooperstown, like you'll see we have one of the purest games ever. Like all these and it's not.
Hey, and the wild part is the only thing keeping them out is steroids. You got rapists, got killers, got drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we keeping it pure, or what we doing in here? Like, you got a lot of Hall of Famers in here with questionable
bodies over here, dog. Like, what is we talking about? You know what? I like
questionable history in the Hall of Fame.
I like Jose Canseco's interview real quick though. He had an interview and he's a great storyteller. Considering how much he snitched. He's a great storyteller.
Dropping dimes on everybody.
Dropped a dime on everybody.
And, hey, listen, that's why he's a great storyteller. You can't be a snitch and be a bad storyteller. Like, how you gonna tell that story while
snitching because he finished?
Hey, I snitched, and now I'm gonna tell you how I got away with it.
The one thing he mentioned was about King Griffey Jr. He said King Griffey was a great player. But the field that he played in, that home field, was the easiest to hit home runs in.
Oh yeah, it was shorter distance.
in
Oh,
Seattle.
Suzuki Ichiro. Ichiro was killing up there too.
First off, Ichiro.
Ichiro, right?
But
Back in
first
the
of
He
all,
just
like
he just turned this man into a Mexican dish real quick.
Oh God.
Ichiro was doing this before he got to the league.
Ichiro really didn't hit home runs though.
I'm
Ichiro
just
was
saying
just
he was.
singles
I
and
just
doubles.
remember.
Ichiro is him.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was more about remembering that he was a great player in Seattle. Sorry.
Oh
It wasn't that he hit home runs.
man.
I just
Man,
thought it was
Ichiro was
interesting
tough.
that he said when he finally played in that stadium, he was like, "No wonder this guy is hitting it out the box because if I was here, I'd hit a home run almost every time." Like
Nah,
I just
Right.
that's not the easiest stadium to hit a home run in though. The easiest stadium is still is it the Colorado? I was like, it's not Denver, Colorado. Because of the difference in air.
Colorado
Like
Rockies,
you see the splits on players there. It's like when they at home, it's like he hit the ball 5,000 feet, and then they go on the road, and it's like he hit a double.
I will say I don't know how there isn't more inside the park home runs at the Giant Stadium.
Yeah, that mug is huge.
Like dog, like you
hitting
at
it the
a
center
you
field
at a
is
double,
hard though.
huh?
Hitting it the center is hard though.
Yeah. I was
You got to
gonna
hit
say,
that mug
if you hit a
straight when it's
double
coming
into
in
the
on a
gap
curve. Yeah,
down there.
it's interesting to me. Like I look at the whole like steroid era or the situation, and I understand why, right? Because it's tough to have there's no, this is the problem mugs have. There's no tiers to a Hall of Fame, right? All Hall of Fame players are not made the same. You can be a Hall of Famer and still not be as good as a certain level of Hall of Famer. So the problem that baseball has is we can't put Frank Thomas and Ken Griffey Jr. into there and also put Barry Bonds in there because more than likely Barry Bonds would not have hit more home runs than Frank Thomas if if Barry Bonds was clean the entire time. Okay, so tell that story. You don't have to put him on the same level as Frank Thomas. But you can't erase. This is it's such an American thing. You can't erase history. It happened.
you can try.
Yeah. You can try your hardest to erase it. And that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to wait so long that people either forget that the steroid era existed or that Barry Bonds existed. And it's not going to happen. I hate to tell y'all this, Barry Bonds is the home run champ. There's probably going to be quite some time until somebody comes and breaks that record.
Nah, that's facts. I mean, but even then, I don't feel like it's ever gonna be forgotten because if you take, I mean,
because we're not gonna let it be forgotten.
Case in point. Let's say you take Ori to a Sox game. Like you act like, and then if she grows like baseball, you absolutely gonna tell her, hey, like Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, like they did this.
Tell her the truth.
Bonds are like it's still gonna be the purest of the game. Like Muggs is never gonna forget.
I'm telling the truth.
And
I
feel like that's one of the reasons why the sport is lacking because y'all try to make this cover up, saying that we've been clean for decades, and it's been scandals on top of scandals since the league started.
Yeah. 1919 Black Sox still
dog. Like I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I'm more upset that Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. To be honest with you,
to me, I wouldn't even be tripping off the Hall of Fame because I'm not even finna let a writer have that type of power over me to just be like.
Well, that's what it comes down to me. Writers should not be in charge.
I'm finna wait 10 years and then I'm gonna let him in. I'm not finna wake up every day thinking like, oh, well, shoot, is this the year that I get in? I don't have time for that. I really don't.
It's actually a good question. Does saving baseball at the time they played hold more weight than using roids?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It does. Because to me, you were losing your baseball viewership at a time where there weren't massive cell phones and like there was nothing else to do but watch TV and sports and like and people were choosing going to other events over baseball. Attendance was absolutely down to its all-time low.
Don, come on, Don.
Hey, Don Burke come in here. He drops the super chat just to get it on screen, man. Shout out to Don. Don is dedicated. Hey,
Don.
He's absolutely wrong. But
a top 5 player in the league?
Yeah, he's absolutely wrong.
What did Cade just drop 100 in a game or something? Like what just happened?
Nah, he went toe to toe with Jokic and they both almost had triple doubles. You lost by 5.
Wait.
Oh, they still lost.
Cade and Jokic don't even play the same position. How do you go toe to toe?
Yeah, how you go toe to toe with somebody who don't play your position?
Hey, that's how he looking at it, man. Hey, I admire the dedication, man. He come in here every day, bro.
Hey, he come in here every day. Drop the comment, man. Shout out to Don Burke.
Cade gonna be nice. I don't know, top 5.
James says Pete Rose gambled on his own team, and they make it seem like he was shaving points. Now, I'll say this, right? Pete Rose, player-wise, should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. There's not a question.
I'm with Pete all the way.
I'll say this, though. There was a clear rule already in place on gambling on your sport, blah, blah, blah. I feel like baseball has more of a leg to stand on with Pete Rose. With PEDs, yes, there was a rule in place that you shouldn't take certain PEDs, but there's a reason Barry Bonds never tested positive. There's a reason Sammy Sosa never tested positive because the PEDs they were using weren't on the list. Now, are they PEDs? Absolutely. Are they giving them an advantage? Absolutely. You sticking a needle in yourself to give yourself a better chance at winning the game? Absolutely. But those weren't on the list. And baseball was fine with it. Baseball was absolutely okay with it.
When did that change?
Oh, when all of a sudden the report came out. When the report came out that Bonds was using steroids and Sammy and Mark McGwire and Roger Clemens, and when the report came out, we knew nothing about this. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that they were using you were providing the needles. You can't be the heroin dealer, and then when somebody OD on heroin, whoa. You know
were they really?
Like, no, I just threw that out there. But,
okay. I didn't know. I wasn't a baseball avid baseball fan. Like I knew of Fanduel, but I didn't know the extent of it. Like I knew
baseball turned a blind eye to it when it was the greatest thing for ratings. When Sammy and Mark were going at it, when Bonds is breaking the record, Bonds is getting to the World Series, ends up choking it 3-1, 3-2, I think they were up. Ends up choking it. You know what I'm saying?
He absolutely choked a couple.
Hey, Dusty been choking his whole life. Dusty whole career is choking.
Yeah.
My God. Wait, did Dusty win last year?
No.
Who won the World Series last year?
Finally.
God dang, Dusty been choking his whole career, dog. Dusty, come on, brother.
Yo,
but that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at what went into the steroid era or the steroid scandal, like with Pete Rose, I think Pete Rose, the player, should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. First off, any dude that's making millions off of betting on himself, that's a bad man.
You think Michael Jordan bet on himself?
I do. I also think that plays into a reason why he stepped away from the game of basketball, but it's neither here nor there.
I do too. If you think Michael Jordan bet on himself and go out there and dominate a game just to get some extra cash, you're foolish. I think the 72-10 season was a bet. My man was on a mission that whole season for no reason.
Take the over on the wins.
Hey, you want to know why you go out there and give it your all every game? When you got $1 million on the line. That's what happens.
But
it'd be funny if that joke is real though. Like if that comes out to be true, I would be like, dang, I called it accidentally.
I know, right? But it's just that's the reason to me why writers should not be in charge of it, because the writers, for some reason, feel there's some integrity in these sports, and there's not. Y'all don't know these mugs personally. We're talking about what they did on the field. We're talking about what they did inside the diamonds. Now, were steroids a thing? Yeah, but in baseball, you've got the least integrity of all. If you're a baseball purist, you should understand that the purity of the game is cheating.
Hold on, wait.
The spitball is cheating.
Did they really take Sammy Sosa's numbers down?
Who?
Like these people who were caught in these scandals, are their numbers like just not recognized at all?
So their numbers
like Mark is not recognized, Sammy's not recognized, Pete's not recognized. Pete has more hits with his left hand than
Pete. They're recognized, but what it is that
he's the all-time hitter, isn't he?
They come with yeah. So Ichiro is the all-time hits leader in all baseball world. But Pete had the best comeback. He was like, yeah, I'd have a lot more hits too if I was playing with players that wasn't as good. Hey, Pete said, I did mine in the MLB, baby. I think Ichiro was the all-time single season hit leader. But you look at where the game was and where it went and how they built it to that point. Like I almost give baseball a little more leeway with Pete, because the rules in place. Don't gamble on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Pete got caught multiple times, and there was actually a point where they were gonna let Pete in, and somebody hated on Pete because they had his ledger, and it showed that he was betting while he was a coach. Pete got a problem. Pete got a problem. I'm not gonna lie. Pete's addicted to gambling. Pete, I hope Pete has gone to rehab for that, because Pete was going. Now he was winning, so maybe not. But Pete got a problem. Like literally, they were going to let him in when he was a coach, but somebody hated on him, and they sent in the ledger of all the bets he had while he was a coach. First off, don't write it down, Pete. But it was the 80s or 90s or whatever it was. So I guess that's the only way to keep stuff back there.
The bookie takes the bet.
The bookie takes the bet, but Pete was writing it down on his own so he could keep up with his numbers. Somebody got the book, sent that to Rod, or sent it wasn't Bud Selig at that point, and he never got into the hall. But
that's what it sounds like.
Big snitching stuff, dog. Big snitching stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, it's like AB in the chef with the vax, man.
Fam, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you snitching for? You snitching over $5,000?
Hey,
but I want to know what people's end game is. When you're snitching on someone who owes you money, and trying to ruin the way they make money. How do you think you're going to get your money?
No, you know what though? You know what though? It's like no, you know what though? That's like so there's electricians out here. I don't condone this kind of. So there's electricians out here that they'll do the work, and then the work is done, and mugs don't want to pay them the money. Okay, so the electrician will go back and they'll pull the meter. You pull the meter, ain't no power on the house. So you essentially hold their meter hostage till they pay you your money. Now, is that legal? No. But you're not finna not pay me my money.
Real story.
Hey, and this is the thing, right? You still probably don't get your money, but now they have to pay more money to get somebody to come back in and fix it. And if an electrician walks up and sees that and be like, so what happened to your meter? They're going to be like, you can either lie, and we already know, or you can tell the truth, and then I'm not going to do the work for you because I know you might not pay me my money. Or you're going to have to pay me up front, and I'm going to double your price just to get you for screwing that dude over. So it's one of them, he might not get the money, but you're going to have to go through so much to get back to the point where you at. You still going to be messed up. So I understand the level of pettiness. Now with the chef thing, $5,000 with AB, first off, AB, you petty. You could have sneezed out $5,000 real quick. On the other side, you really didn't hurt AB. AB is a really good football player. You got him suspended for a couple of games. Okay.
He's going to end up on Baltimore.
He's going to end up playing in the NFL again. And by the way, he was cut with a lot of money on his contract. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different. an entirely different thing.
Nah, but you know that's technically on Byron Leftwich though. If you actually heard the story when LaShawn told it, because he was like basically it all started last year when they was going to the bowl, had locked up the number 1 seed. It was like 2 weeks left. Byron Leftwich came out that was in practice. He was like, hey, anybody got incentives in their contract? We already got the number 1 seed locked up. If y'all need that, talk to me. I'll take care of that. So, LaShawn and Gronk was like, I bet. AB was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna talk to him. We're gonna get that. Brady got him his bread. Coming to this season, they had the number 2 seed locked up. He did the same thing. After that, AB the week before, like LaShawn said, he got you 8 catches, 1-on-1. Coming to the Jets game, he was like a couple weeks before that, they had already said AB was cut.
Yeah,
that's what Bruce Arians was on. They had already said AB was cut. But then Mike Evans got a little banged up that game. Chris Godwin got towards ACL, so they had to bring him back. They had no choice. But while he was doing that, AB was like, "Yo, I'm hurt." Sent him the pick. After that, Bruce Arians was like, "Yo, come take the trip. This, and this." He was like, "All right, bet. Get on the trip." AB said, technically he was still hurt that game, but he went in. So he said that while they was doing that, he was like, "Man, all I needed was 8 receptions.
Yeah,
I didn't need y'all. All I needed was 8 catches." But then I guess once they was down, he was like, Brady not throwing me the ball. He want to throw it to Scotty Miller and Johnson.
Hey, look,
Forget it.
I'm
not going in the game.
Hey, look, this the thing. That's still on him, right? Because he got targeted 8 times. He caught 4 of those catches. Also, if you don't get suspended for not getting vaccinated,
hey man,
you get your 8 catches and you get your yard.
That's the story. That's the story.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I don't feel bad for AB. AB burns bridges.
No, I don't.
AB burns bridges. Now, are there certain moments where AB might be right? Absolutely. I think I don't know what all went down in Oakland, but I think that after seeing what kind of all went down with Gruden, you start to, you know what I'm saying, okay, interesting. I see a lot of people saying AB was right because Bruce Arians took a swing at his player for getting ready to do something stupid on the field with his helmet on. If you think that coaches and players don't smack players with their helmets on, you're stupid. like it's not like he smacked that man upside his face. He smacked him with his helmet on. AB burns his own bridges. And that is what it is.
He full on said, because they asked him about the 32 mil from Oakland. He was like, bro, I fully had a plan for that. Like Muggs think I'm walking around looking stupid. It was a reason why I left the 32 mil on the table. I was like, dog, that's still 32 M's. Like
Can't hear a word you're saying, kid.
So I want to know what the plan was.
Hey. He ain't got 32 M's, so it didn't work out.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The whole interview, he was like, "Man, I'm not finna let them clown me. I'm just. Sometimes you gotta do what your heart tell you. Like the NFL really try to control you. Ain't nobody finna control me. And then you finna sit up here and keep claiming CTE. I'm not crazy, but I'm not finna let somebody play me."
Still can't hear you, kid.
Had the wrong light on this whole time. I was wondering. I was like, why is it coming in like that? First of all, I don't like how Restream has it coming in like this.
That's the story.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Like with AB, whether he has mental issues or not, you're still burning bridges. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't have mental issues, then you're just dumb. You're making dumb moves. You're fumbling your own bag. Like I'm not gonna get on here and clown one person for fumbling the bag and not clowning that. Like if you are saying I'm mentally stable, everything is fine with me. Everybody want to say the Vontaze Burfict hit messed me up. I am fine. My brain is okay. I am not in this situation. Okay, so then you just dumb. like I don't get your goal here is to make the NFL more of a what? Players can be more outspoken. You got a lot of outspoken players in this league that are still making money. Players can dictate policy. Tom Brady went down to Tampa Bay and dictated the entire policy. So I'm confused on what AB's goal is here.
But
because there's a lot.
He never said what it was though. It was like he just kept saying like, ain't nobody finna control my narrative. Like at the end of the day, like even though my head's saying one thing, like I gotta follow my heart, and that. But like most of these dudes, they get 10 years in, and then once they finish, they don't know what they're doing with themselves. And that's just
I get you. I get he doesn't want people to control the narrative, but the narrative AB is putting out there is that he's dumb.
I'm like, bro.
The narrative that AB is putting out there is not an intelligent one.
And then
AB, why'd you leave the sidelines? They told me leave, so I left. Okay.
Yeah. He was like, yeah. That's the other thing. He was like, yo, if a coach tell you get off the sideline, get the out of here. You feel me? Like obviously I'm gonna do that then. But fine, I'm gonna take off your logo. I'm gonna take off your brand because I rapped hard for you. But end of the day, you tell me to leave, I'm finna leave.
But this is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing. Nobody repped harder for AB than Tampa Bay.
When AB did this, repped harder for AB than Tom.
It was time.
When everybody at every turn, when AB did this everywhere else, everybody told him, "We're not going to deal with your mess. Get out." Tom Brady stuck his neck out for AB multiple times. AB essentially has gone on this tour out of one side of his mouth trying to say Tom Brady really is my friend, and out of the other side of his mouth saying, but you didn't help me get a bigger bag. You don't deserve a bigger bag. You know why Gronk's getting a bigger bag than you? Because Gronk got, he got 4 of them things with Brady?
4 of them things.
That's why Gronk's getting a bigger bag than you. Why is Gronk making more money? Because he's won.
Hey, Gronk shows up, wows out, does his job, goes into semi-retirement.
Bro, the thing is, Gronk parties, but he balls.
Fam, no, this is the thing. Gronk, when you talk to people that like actually know Gronk, they say like Gronk does that because Gronk is the fun-loving, I want to party, I want to be that guy. But Gronk is a very smart football player. Gronk is a very intelligent person.
I believe it. I definitely believe it.
And AB made Gronk talk football at the end of when he left that. You know what I'm saying? AB made Gronk be like, listen, when I'm sitting out there putting my head on the line, putting my body on the line, sitting out here trying to make a block, man, I'm trying. And he started breaking down football plays just to say like, and you don't want to go into the game? Yeah, I got nothing for you. Like you made Gronk talk football. Like I feel no sympathy for AB. I feel no sympathy for AB's situation. If you don't like your work environment, okay, I can understand that. But
you're not in a situation to sit there and say that you don't like your work environment. You're not in that situation at all.
But my thing, but see this, and I'm not taking up for him, but I've seen a whole pod, and basically his thing is, we won a Super Bowl last year. I am a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's not.
He's not.
He hasn't done enough.
The
He
numbers.
hasn't done enough.
The numbers.
Really?
The numbers.
AB?
The numbers would
AB?
suggest.
Really?
Really?
I think he's a
Yeah.
first
I might have
ballot
to
Hall
look
of
at his
Famer,
numbers
dog.
again. I don't think he's done enough. He
I
might be.
I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's just me. But his thing is, I should have at least been able to dictate that. But you're also not finna talk to me like I'm not who I say that.
He got a
who
better
I say
career
I
than
am.
Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall ain't a Hall of Famer.
Brandon Marshall was not a Hall of Famer.
He got a better career than Chad Johnson.
Career games,
also not a
928
Hall of Famer.
receptions, 1,200 yards, 83 touchdowns.
I mean, 1,100, 1,500, 1,700, 1,800, 1,200,
Hey,
1,500, almost
Hey,
1,300.
listen. All right.
Hall of Famer.
Okay. Hey,
All
listen. I stand corrected because
I stand corrected. No, hey, them Hall of Fame numbers.
All right, dog.
Them Hall of Fame numbers.
He's a problem. He was a problem.
Hey, but I tell you this, he definitely ain't first ballot because if T.O. had to wait a year.
Oh, well, because of politics. Yeah, because of politics. No, he's not getting it for a while.
Getting in at all.
Hey, this man's never gonna get in the Hall of Fame if T.O. had to
You
wait.
know
a
what's
year.
crazy to me?
Hey,
He's gone through all this in the last 3 years.
Dog.
And he can
I swear.
still have a nice 4-year stretch.
Yeah.
To make this number.
But that's what he was saying. He still got enough gas in the tank.
He got 2 years.
Hey,
I think he can give you 4.
Hey,
he ain't get nothing but rest in New England because he got 56 yards.
No, they cut him.
He ain't been
they cut him.
No, Kia.
They cut him. Remember, he got hit with the he got hit with the sexual allegation.
I know what he got hit with. I'm joking and saying like, hey, he has. I give you 2 years. He has 2 years of high production that he can give you. And the reason why I say that is because he ain't really been taking a lot of hits since he left Pittsburgh because he ain't been on the field that much.
No, I don't. This is the thing, right? I said he's going to get another job because he can play football. He's really good at football. He's gonna get another job. He's gonna be on the team. I didn't think I ain't gonna lie to you. I remembered him breaking 1,300, but I didn't think the rest of his numbers was that good. That boy, he a Hall of Famer. I give him that. He a Hall of Famer.
Why is his nickname Ronald Ocean?
You said what?
His nickname is Ronald Ocean.
I don't like that. I don't know
that
what that
sounds
means
like
at all.
an entirely different person.
Hey, I don't like that. I don't think that.
That sounds like work on the block.
He sound like he be like la da 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 da. No, but
yeah, but you can't. He can't bully his way or
30,
temper tantrum.
33.
Temper tantrum his way into getting what he wants. It's like
this
that doesn't work.
Thing, right? You don't.
But then he already did. So it don't matter.
But here's the thing, right? Did T.O. dictate policy on the teams he was on?
No. T.O. played.
Did Randy Moss dictate policy on the teams he was on? Maybe the Vikings because they had nobody throwing it to him. But when he was on the team with a real quarterback, T.O. was a part of a cog in the system. I hate to tell you this, but quarterbacks dictate policy and star linebackers. Maybe a great defensive lineman. Wide receivers do not. You know why? Because even if you catch 1,300 yards, you're still more replaceable than that dude that's throwing the ball to you.
You know, it's
just
interesting. You know what's interesting though is that receivers. I think we've had this conversation before. Since I think the 2000s, when you have the number one receiver, the number one guy, then they've never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like when they're the focal point, they always get shut down.
And because a lot of times they own teams with a subpar quarterback.
Usually, because it's not a balanced offense. I mean, T.O. probably came the closest because I mean that man, even with a broken foot.
Oh my God, T.O. was so close. Fam, I was watching him in San Francisco the other day with Steve Young. I was like, my God, this dude was cold.
Yeah,
this is the problem. But I mean, I don't know because he feel like he was like, yo, I'm just as good, if not better than Chris Godwin. I'm just as good, if not better than Mike Evans. That was his biggest thing. Like you sitting up here giving all these other people all these targets.
Yeah.
and you have no other receivers outside of me right now. So it's just like, I mean, but I wouldn't have did what he did. If I couldn't go, I'm just not showing up.
I just realized we're talking about Antonio Brown again. Man, let's switch the topic. I don't like talking about Antonio Brown as much. He getting way too much tick as it is. He got a whole he on a podcast. He
was on what was he on the other day with his lawyer? He was on like
he was on like 3 podcasts already.
No, I'm saying he was on ESPN or something with his lawyer the other day. You know what I'm saying?
Lawyer,
nah, it wasn't ESPN.
He talking to Brian Gumble and stuff like that.
Like, fam, yeah, what was the Brian Gumble thing? What was that?
What's going on, dog? Hey, we gotta keep it pushing.
What Brian Gumble thing?
We gotta keep it pushing, dog. We gotta keep it pushing. With that being the case,
I don't even know how we got on that, but I just wanted to relay that story.
I don't know how we got on that.
About some basketball, dog. Bulls get the dub last night.
Vucci
come through. I got a question. Is Zach no longer the closer that we hoped he'd be?
Bro, yeah, yes, he's not. I've been telling y'all.
I ain't never seen nobody so excited to trash another person.
Yes, because I've been telling y'all he's not that dude.
Right, let's go in order. You too excited. So the first person to go is Jay. Why don't you go first?
Go ahead.
Hey, because Rico too excited. I need him to simmer down a little bit.
about Zach being we always wanted Zach to kind of grow into that role, but I don't think that was really the case. It's like, that's what DeMar's for. He's, Zach hopefully is learning. Oh yeah, you're right. I had to switch hats. Hold on. We're talking. Sorry. Take off my GM. Go back to there we go. Here we go.
Hey, listen. This is gonna be the thing. He's gonna get next level when he gets a breakaway jersey and it's a Bulls jersey. And he gets, that's when he's gonna be next level. Hold up, let me switch it up. We talking basketball. Foul. Then we go throw him off. Let's get back on the Bears. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh god dang it! Got to button it back up.
I got some Sox gear. I do have Sox gear. I don't have a Bulls jersey. I do have some Bulls shirts, but not. Yeah, good point. I'm gonna work on that. I mean,
for the pull up and warm ups to every live like it's 1985.
No, 90, actually 95, 96. Growing up, that was the stuff to get the tearaway. The tearaway. Who in the chat knows anything about them snaps? When you take the tearaway pants off, cold. That's what
anybody that played basketball knows about the breakaway pants, dog.
Everybody wanted to get it when whoever showed up in school actually had a pair of them. Man, you was the man. But I think y'all, but that's okay. I keep forgetting that who my
can't tell if he's 22 or 109.
It's cool, bro.
Cool. Anyways, I mean Zach is Zach. I think he's growing into that. First of all, why are we saying all this right now? Let's get into the playoffs to see what he really steps up to the plate. Right now, these are just winning games.
Yeah,
like this is posturing, positioning to get to the playoffs. So once we get in the playoffs,
winning games matter in a tight race, though.
It does, but the point is that when it's really on the line is when we're in the playoffs. So we're gonna see, because right now it might be Vooch's night. This night it might be DeMar's night.
But I think that's the biggest thing, right? Last night it was Vucci's night to close out the game for the Bulls. Cool. We've seen Zach LaVine win games for the Bulls off of game-winning shots. We've seen Zach LaVine win games for the Bulls off of having a first quarter where he's absolutely dominated. We've seen DeMar DeRozan win games for the Bulls. I'm gonna be honest with you. The last few games that the Bulls have blown these leads, DeMar DeRozan has been one of the biggest reasons we've lost some of these games. And that's to me, that more so falls on the ISO ball that has been that they stick with down the stretch. I'm fine with you going to ISO ball sometimes. Mugs are like, there's a lot of mugs in here that are like, oh, the ISO ball kills us. That's the NBA. I hate to tell y'all this. Michael Jordan played ISO ball. Magic Johnson played ISO ball. At a certain point, basketball is a one-on-one game sometimes.
Hey, Magic Johnson absolutely did not play a lot of ISO ball.
When Magic wanted to, Magic absolutely would break mugs down.
And the thing is that
hey, when Magic wanted to put up 30, Magic could put up 30. Let's not get it twisted.
And right now, you need to go through this process to see now when you do start, giving Zach these opportunities or whoever's the night that have the opportunities. So now you see what metal they're made of.
Yeah.
So for now, I mean, this is the proving grounds. So when the playoffs start, we're gonna see what Zach is doing. So and the thing is, he's been in situations to win games. I mean, think about even like say like the Scottie Pippen infamous 1.8 second thing, right?
Yeah.
Most people forget that Tony Kukoc had made that shot a couple of times throughout the
he
regular
made that
season.
shot
three
times that season.
3 times.
Right. So it's preparation. So right
Yeah.
now it's like, go ahead and try to win the game. Can you do that? So it's fine. Like right now, I mean, first of all, we're second in the East, correct?
Second right now, yeah.
Yeah, second in the East. So
guess who's got
good.
the easiest schedule moving forward? By the way, guess who's got the easiest schedule moving forward?
Can't control who we play.
Hey, basically got a nice little third place schedule there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the NFL.
Can't control.
He's got an NFC East schedule moving forward. Here's what I'm saying.
That's tough.
Yeah, but I mean, that's my take.
Y'all really do. Y'all schedule is mad easy.
Yeah,
it's wild.
I looked at it. It is.
I actually I dig it. So now we can you give different context and clarity to certain things, which is why we appreciate it. So now we can go ahead and have Ringo trash him because, like he said, I've been calling it. I've been doing this. Go ahead, dog.
I've been saying that. I mean, I said it. I said it. It was what, the second game of the year. I said DeMar's closing out the quarter.
Say that the second game of the year, dog.
Because he would DeMar was closing out
quarter in
Toronto. The second game of the year. He always closes out the quarter. So then when we get and even in those situations where he's had the ball in his hand, he'll take like 1 or 2 shots, miss, and then get a ball to DeMar. When it gets to playoff time and then the game shifts to half court, it's gonna go back in DeMar's hands because that's DeMar's game. Now,
but see, the only time we have this conversation is when Zach has a tough go of it in the fourth quarter. That's what I don't like. Let's keep it a buck. We've yelled out, turn to channel 8. It's time to watch a little Zach TV in the fourth quarter multiple times this season.
But it's not. He's not gonna make every shot. I mean, Mike. Guys don't make every shot. It's okay. It happens. You're gonna lose games.
I'm
so
cool with it.
to harp on the guy.
To be honest,
but
it's clear who's closing out games, and we do not scream turn to channel 8 beyond 3 minutes in the fourth. We don't.
I know. No, we absolutely do not.
Beyond 3 minutes in the fourth.
3 minutes.
You mean
3 minutes less than the fourth.
The last 3 minutes.
It's
bro?
the DeMar show.
You mean the last 3 minutes, bro?
3 minutes left in the fourth.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. You said 3 minutes into the fourth.
You said how we just came.
That means there's 9 minutes left in the quarter.
I'm trying to help you
3
out.
minutes left in the fourth. Come on now. That's not major and minor things.
Man.
I just think that right now, this is the first year of this team being put together. You're figuring everything out. So right now, first of all, Zach is coming off of an Olympic, run and getting his confidence up, stepping his game up. So, right now, it's all just figuring the whole thing out until we get full strength. I mean, when P. Will comes back, it's until. Let's see how this year really plays out. Right now, it's still kind of a wait and see approach of it's exciting because look, already we're the number 2 team in the East. And at one point, number 1 in the East. And probably will be number 1 in the East. So we got 3-4 years of this team to see where it goes before DeMar is probably over the hill because he's 32 or 33, right?
32.
Yeah.
And this is what I say though. It doesn't even if DeMar is the one getting the ball at the end of the fourth quarter, DeMar's a better mid-range shooter than Zach is a 3-point shooter. That just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
DeMar's a more pure mid-range shooter than Zach is a 3-point shooter. So if I need to close out a game, I'm going to go with the best option at a shot. Now, does DeMar get a little bit too ISO heavy sometimes? Absolutely. Does DeMar go a little bit?
But Zach can create a shot, and the way he attacks the rim is he is explosive.
Zach can create a shot. Zach is the 3-point option, but Zach being the number 2 option in that final 3 minutes of the game does not upset me, because I would rather you have Zach shooting the 3 ball or driving to the rim off of a pump fake because somebody jumps out of their Nikes trying to block his shot than Zach trying to just do everything in the fourth to close out the game. Like, we've got enough weapons on this team that can score. We don't need Michael Jordan. I'd take Michael Jordan, but what I'm saying is you don't need that one player.
It's not always player on him.
That's always getting the job done. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like, DeRozan knocking down mid-range shots with Zach out on the perimeter and Booch down low, that's the recipe for success.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a different closer. Yeah, DeMar got to be the closer a couple nights in a row on game-winning shots. Absolutely. Tough shot. The one shot he definitely didn't know that mug was going in. But tough shots there, you know what I'm saying, able to knock him down. All right, cool. Last night you got Vucci wide open. But let's not act, the only time this conversation comes up is when Zach LaVine has a struggling fourth quarter.
But
you know what I'm saying?
I think that these are situations that they're put in where it's okay. He's coaching and planning for this type of stuff. Because honestly, we've seen this play even with Vucci missed the shot. I've seen him miss that shot more than he's made that.
He missed it in where did we have a game where he missed it in Boston.
That's what I'm saying. We've seen this before. It's just that now Vucci hit the shot versus him missing it. So these things have happened where I think this is the proving grounds getting through the season, because once the playoffs start, I think you're going to kind of know what happens when we get in these situations like this.
You think Billy's kind of like,
let's see how this plays.
Giving this to DeMar so that way when playoff time roll around, he can just give it to Zach.
Well, it's repetition. This is all practice. I guarantee you they know. They know. Well, I guarantee you they know there's certain games where they know they can win, and there's certain games that they know they got to play, And so when we get in these situations like, okay, we lost to the Nets. Why did we lose to the Nets? How do we come back and scheme and plan for this? We know we should beat some of the lesser teams, but when we play against the big teams and we didn't win, why didn't we win? Or how do we put ourselves in situations that we will be successful, moving forward?
I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
And so, to me, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're acting like Zach can't knock down shots in the final 3 minutes. We've seen Zach knock down shots. We've seen, you know what I'm saying? Like, if all of a sudden you start focusing on DeMar, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to leave Zach LaVine open from 3, where, the Bulls are going through a little bit of a shooting slump right now, but Zach LaVine getting back into the swing of things, had 23 last night, you know what I'm saying? Struggled a little bit from the 3-point line. I don't expect Zach LaVine to struggle from the 3-point line the rest of the season.
Well, I think too, like, people, when you're coaching, it's managing, right? So even when you think about what Phil Jackson did, where it was like, it's not about, I can't be in situations with Mike where you're always shooting the ball. You're not building up the confidence of your other players, of your other teammates. Yeah, you don't respect them because you don't think they can, but we got to give them something. So we need those Bill Cartwrights or the Craig Hodges, because he just gets no love. Everybody forgets that Joker was hitting threes. So the fact is, like, right now,
because he was taking 3 a game.
Right, but I mean, the thing is with Donovan, I got Ayo, I got all these other guys. I need to see what the situation is going to look like, because Lonzo he's out for some time. He's got to get in the swing of things. In this system of what we're running, I need to see, okay, Zach can do this. We know what DeMar can do. We got Vooch. We got to figure this whole thing out. So right now, the first year of putting this team together, and now I'm down P. Will, and we still don't even know how that team is going to gel together in situational basketball for when the playoffs start. How are we going to win these games?
Yeah. No, there's gonna be a lot. This is the thing, right? I said this yesterday. I was talking about, if the Bulls drop, say the Bulls do lose some games to the bigger name teams, you know what I'm saying, to the higher playoff teams, and they drop a little bit, but then they get healthy in March. If you get the Bulls at a 6 seed, you got to be pissed going into the next round.
Yeah.
You get the full strength Bulls, and in the first round, you're the 4th seed, and you got to play them for the first round. It's like, fam, this is supposed to be a cakewalk. What the heck is going on?
Thanks.
Now I got one of the best defensive teams in the league going up against me in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like we know what this team is at full strength. We saw the defense that this team is able to play at full strength. This team is a top 5 defensive team in the NBA, as well as a top scoring team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
They lost some pieces, they're down some pieces, and they're still winning. The thing about even like in the back-to-back losses, the thing that I say is we kill them a lot harder if they lose these games. They didn't lose them. They won the games. They came out of these games with a win. Are there some things there that we would like to see them do better down the stretch? Yeah. But they came back into these mugs and got these wins. That's what it comes down to. And so I'm not worried about what I want to see. I'm so excited for March. You get P. Will back, you get Caruso back, you get Lonzo back, you get Derrick Jones Jr. back. That defensive team, that's going to be a problem. That's what, like, the Bulls scoring wise are a really good team, but that's not what's going to get them to the finals.
Yeah, the defense
or the Eastern Conference Finals. If you don't have that defense that you had early in the season, that's what's going to get you to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I can't wait, especially with Caruso and Patrick Will, P. Will. That's going to be a huge difference maker for them.
Especially Caruso.
I just want y'all to play Milwaukee.
So I mean, what is it? I forget.
I just can't wait till we play you again. We play you February 8th.
So hey, Victor Oladipo's gonna be back. So bring it. Come on.
Hey, Victor Oladipo might be back, but he might be gone by that game again. Who knows?
I forget with this whack playoff situation. So it's a play-in, like 9. It is eventually a top 8, right? It's just that they do the play-in for
7, 8, 9, and
10
play each other.
Right.
And that's only if the records are within reach. They have to be within a few games of each other.
Like 5 games, something like that. Well, as it stands,
like 3 games.
Oh, is there a game stipulation on it?
There's a game stipulation to it.
It is, huh?
I didn't think there was a game stipulation to it.
Because why would the number 9 seed have to play the number 7 seed and the 8 seed play the 10th seed?
I'm saying
because they make it in a 1-game play-in.
It's a 1-game play-in.
7, 8, 9, and 10.
I don't think there's a game stipulation on it. I think they're doing it like how baseball does it.
There's
absolutely the best team in baseball has absolutely got knocked out in a 1-game play-in.
Yeah, Ringo's right. With 7, 8. If you look at the standings, it's 7, 8, 9, 10.
7 is gonna play 8. 9 is gonna play 10.
Okay, I thought.
No.
I thought it was
7 is gonna play 10. 9 is gonna play 8
and 9 play each other.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of the day, there will be 8 teams in the Eastern or in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So 2 versus 7. So whoever wins 7 could be
the team with the 9th highest winning percentage in each conference will host the team with the 10th highest winning percentage in the conference. So it's a 9-10 game. The loser of the 7 and
so I was right.
The loser of the 7th, 8th game will host the winner of the 9-10 game in a play-in, and the winner of that game will earn the number 8 seed.
All right. So still 2 versus
It's still
7.
dumb. It's still dumb. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen them add to the NBA. It's so stupid.
That's because of Zion.
No,
Zion and John Morant.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's dumb. Zion, it's dumb because like the games are never going to be entertaining.
No, it was
the games last year. The games last year.
That was entertaining.
Last year was entertaining because LeBron and Stephen Curry were in there.
Yeah, so Memphis took out Golden State. They lost against Golden State. No. Golden State won, but then lost to the Lakers.
Golden State won, but then lost to the Lakers. But what I'm saying is it's entertaining because you had LeBron and Stephen Curry in there. While you might have LeBron in there again, Steph Curry will not be in that mug again. You are going to be watching the bottom of the barrel teams that we do not care about go up against each other. And I'm talking about you might get, because they're bad enough, you might get Boston from the other side. But I'm going to be real with you. I don't think Boston can beat anybody in a 7-game series because I ain't seen Boston win 3 games in a row this season. So I'm not worried about them at all.
Put back on you because if the 7th seed has to play the 8th seed, that will be the Hornets versus the Celtics, and if the 9th seed has to play the 10th team, that's the Raptors versus the Wizards.
Yeah,
we've struggled against all of those teams except for one.
Yeah, but that don't mean it's entertaining basketball when they play each other.
It is gonna be entertaining. The Raptors versus the Wizards is not gonna be entertaining game.
The Raptors versus the Wizards.
I see you, Chris Raquel.
That would be an entertaining game. The Celtics versus the Hornets. That's an entertaining game.
Yeah, nobody wants
Celtics,
to see that.
Hornets, maybe. Raptors, Wizards, I don't need to see that.
Hold on. Let's put this in other context.
I don't need to see that. That is not an entertaining game.
The Timberwolves versus the Clippers may not be an entertaining game, and the Lakers versus the Trailblazers might not be an entertaining game.
Those are both whack games.
Those are boring games, right? But why are the Lakers and the Clippers and the Timberwolves at the end?
It don't matter. Nobody's gonna be back.
Either way.
You're gonna have LeBron, Paul George, and
I'm just saying Charlotte versus Boston, and then Toronto versus Washington as it stands right now. That's not entertaining. It's just not.
Okay, I think we're going down a rabbit hole. The point was Chicago's playing the 7th seed. So let's just say it is Charlotte.
I was wondering how we got there, by the way.
Yeah, because I was just saying in general, you're talking about the playoffs if they drop games.
Oh, if they drop. Yeah.
I think they can still hold to a degree. You still got 3 All-Stars playing right now.
Yeah.
The reason why they're gonna hold too is because Brooklyn absolutely cannot figure it out with the way. Cause you got James Harden, then you don't got James Harden, you got Kyrie, and then you don't got Kyrie. But the fact that KD's out,
that's why they're losing. They've lost 3 in a row here. That's why they're losing.
That's why you guys are gonna hold too.
And do we believe in Cleveland? Is Cleveland really going to hold?
You know what?
This is what I was
Cleveland making your boy believe, dog.
I want to say this.
They need to trade Derrick, or they need to trade Colin Sexton.
When are we going to stop saying y'all really let like the Warriors really let the Cleveland beat them, or this team really let we gotta stop saying that, dog.
I'll say this: Cleveland found something that works for them. And
who's coaching them?
JB
Bickerstaff. He's doing a great job, by the way. Cleveland found something that works for them. And I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to see a lot of teams go to it. Teams that can't find those 3-point shooters, teams that can't find those, you're going to see a lot of teams go to that, especially with how the NBA is being called now, with the physicality inside. I can hit you a little bit more. That's really the only reason why the NBA started going away from those big dudes inside that were physical, because being physical is going to foul you out the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can be a little more physical. I can hit you. You know what I'm saying? We can get down there. Jared Allen can meet you at the rim for a block. You know, like,
yeah.
Hey, listen, they are
absolutely yammed on Giannis last night.
Oh, Mobley put Giannis on a poster, dog. He said, "Meet me at the top. I'll punch your ticket. It's whatever you want it to be." I
absolutely think they should at least have 3 All-Stars in the game too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Cleveland should have 3 All-Stars.
Yeah, at least at minimum 2.
Mobley's gonna get in because he gets the rookie versus sophomore game.
Darius Garland
will be there because he gets the rookie versus sophomore game.
Mobley and
that's it.
Allen may be there, but at minimum they should at least.
No, he's not there, dude.
Nah, he ain't making it. I'd give you Garland and Mobley, but they're gonna be there anyway. So, like, I'm telling y'all, you go get them. Adding Rajon Rondo to that squad was such an underrated move. Like, he's just going to facilitate so well for that team. He's going to facilitate so well for that team and just get people in the right position and teaching Darius Garland how to do it. Darius Garland's become a really good point guard. Mm-hmm. I was always like he could have been, but
like
he was behind Colin Sexton.
The crazy thing about it is I'm watching the JJ Redick pod. And that mug Kevin Love was like, Darius Garland doesn't know that like he respects the game so much, like he don't know when he just hoops somebody up. Like he was like, the other day they would have we went against the Nets, and he absolutely dropped Kyrie off a couple of times. And then he said they were sitting at like the breakfast table, I guess, whatever. And that mug was like, you realize like you just hooped up Kyrie.
Just hooped up Kyrie.
And he just, it is what it is. But
you
then,
gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
But we got some Rajon Rondo love up in here.
But he did say though, he was like, if I'm picking one person off this team to like break out over the next 5, Evan Mobley got to be the dude because he
Evan Mobley's a problem.
Evan
Mobley can do everything.
He said like the stuff he do in practice, like he guards 1 through 5, like, and it's not like a big that could just step out like Mud, because he's like Mud's talk about Bam all the time. Like he has great feet movement, like he knows like how to time his jumps and everything like that, and he shoots threes.
I feel like Evan Mobley's biggest thing is gonna be can he get more weight on him, but not too much weight. Like he's got to be a little bit stronger. And I think that'll come naturally, but you don't want him to get too much weight where he loses his mobility. Like, I don't want him to become Joel Embiid.
He looks like Jermaine O'Neal to me, like skinny.
He said Jermaine O'Neal, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, skinny, thin, almost knock-kneed too. Because I was at the game last Wednesday and I looked at him like he kind of interesting looking.
He do look. He looked like he built like Luke Cornett, but he played like rookie KG. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like he built like Luke Cornett. Like you watch him play and you just like, why he move like that?
Yeah.
How you do that?
Hey, it's effective. It's effective though. But I mean, Cleveland is certainly a first round matchup for anybody. I would.
Oh, Cleveland is a scary match. There's a lot of scary matchups when you talk about like those lower tier seeds. Like even if Washington moves up enough, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even for Miami, if Miami stays at the 1 and Washington gets the 8 seed, Washington is that kind of hustle team with a great score that absolutely could give y'all fits up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of good teams in the Eastern Conference. I just don't want to see some of them competing in the play-in game because that would be trash.
I do gotta say this one time. Stephen A. with the Knicks, dog. We played them last night. Them muggers.
Man, I don't know what the Knicks are, bro. And I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I can't stand the Knicks fans because it's just like anything the Knicks do, if they win 2 games in a row, we championship bound, baby. We back. And if they lose 2 games in a row, these mugs suck. It's like it's like what? Like
the pieces.
At least pessimistic Bulls fans stay consistent. Like DJ J. Jonah comes in here every time and it's just like, no, fire Billy Donovan. I'm sick of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
fraud.
At least he's consistent. You know what I mean? Like he got flip-flopping back and forth.
The pieces don't fit. And Julius Randle is just
I think they got figured out. I mean,
but the thing is, I don't see. I tell Pat this all the time. I was like,
Ringo had them mugs figured out last season. We would be doing the live call. Julius Randle would get the ball. Ringo would be like left, and he would go left, and he would go left. Not in that time. He would end up with 29 points, and I'd be like, well, apparently left is working. Ringo would be like, the problem is he don't go right.
He took 26 shots. Like. I don't see, and I said this yesterday. I'm like, you have one good year, and I understand that, but it's like there's no way you could pay this dude and be like, yeah, Julius Randle's gonna be the franchise, and the pieces don't fit. Like,
what is P.kidd talking about?
You got Kimba.
John Stockton only went left.
You got Kimba with a bum knee. Barry don't use his right either.
Hey, the difference with Stockton was Stockton could only go left, but he would pass right to Malone. Put a dunk. You know what I'm saying? It's very different weapons there. Like
Mitchell Robinson is the only player that actually has value as the big. Like that's it.
I ain't gonna take away from Julius Randle because Julius Randle is doing well, but I will say he's pretty easy to. This is the thing. Easy to figure out and easy to stop are 2 different things. right? DeMar DeRozan is easy to figure out. Guess what he's going to do? Back to the basket, shoulder fake, pump fake, pull up, mid-range, in your face. That don't mean you're going to stop it from going in.
Well, all of them have a go-to move. It's just, can you
Yeah, but there's
how do
some
you
dudes
stop
that
it?
do they move.
You using a
There's
go-to
some dudes
move every
that's they
time?
move. Right?
Yeah,
You know
but some people, you can't necessarily stop anybody in the NBA to a degree. I mean, but there are moves that they make. Yeah.
He stopped himself.
They got scouting reports and they watch them, but after a while, is it mental? Because I mean, everybody have their own move. You know, it is what it is.
I just think there's gonna be the Eastern Conference is gonna be a hard dogfight in the first round, no matter what to me. No matter who you play. Cleveland is absolutely moving up in the ranks. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really want to avoid Cleveland.
I'm just happy to see the Eastern Conference is back.
Oh, the Eastern Conference is definitely back because I'm looking at
you
the West and I'm like,
you got 9 teams at 500.
Absolutely better than the West.
Hey, absolutely better than the West. Like the West records are better. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I look at them Western Conference teams and I'm like, y'all are poorly built. I was going through the list of them. Hold on, let me pull up the list again.
Well, I mean, this is the most balanced I've seen the NBA in the last couple of years. I mean, last year and I think this year.
Fam, so the well-built teams to me, your top 5 teams are well built.
Phoenix, Golden State, Chicago, and
no, I'm talking about in the Western Conference. Phoenix, Golden State. I like how Memphis is built. I think they do a lot of things. I think they built like old school Denver team with an actual score.
I like how Portland's built too.
Relax, right? I like how but I will say this. Actually, I got to skip one. I kind of like how Dallas is built, but Dallas is really dependent on like the health of
both
their team. That health is up and down. But
hey, Dallas trying to play defense now too.
Denver's injury prone. Minnesota to me is just what's his name at this point, because Cat is very like, I'm like, is he okay? Is he still there? The Clippers are hurt. And even when they all put together, I don't like how that team is built. The Lakers are built poorly. Portland is built poorly. New Orleans is built poorly. The Spurs just pretty much gave up at this point. The Kings are built poorly. The Thunder are actually not built poorly. They just don't have the right coach in place, I don't think. And Houston is not built poorly. I think they just don't have the right coach in place or the right organization. So, like,
hey, Cat is getting W's off the court. It don't matter what he's doing on the court. Jordan Wood.
Hey, no, it do matter. Listen, you getting W's off the court is dependent on you getting W's on the court. Although he is getting W's, my boy, big dubs. But I mean, big dubs, my boy. But I mean, really, like Chicago's built well, Cleveland's built well. Brooklyn has 2 superstars that if they're on the floor, they're gonna pick you apart, and they got a bunch of depth. But it's whether you're gonna see it. Milwaukee's built well. Philly's built well, but one of their major players isn't there, and they've still got 28 wins. Oh, by the way, if they trade this dude, they could be built even better. Charlotte's built well. Boston need a point guard. I like a lot of the pieces on that team, but they need a point guard. But I just went through the top 8 teams, and I said one team was built iffy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Toronto was built well. I'm not
going to lie to you, too, though.
Toronto really is a well-built team.
I don't wish
they're just young.
I don't wish.
Scotty Barnes is a man child, by the way, as well.
I know, yeah,
man child.
Scotty Barnes is a man child. I was watching him guard DeMar DeRozan, and I was like, why do you dwarf DeMar?
Man child.
DeMar is not a small human being, dog.
No,
I don't wish this on nobody, but and be like, Philly is playing a dangerous game, dog.
I mean. But if we talk about injury, every team is.
No, but dog,
Hey, how's Brooklyn without KD?
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying like, you know, he has a limited amount of time, and you plan by not making this trade.
How's Brooklyn without KD? Like, we don't know. KD don't. KD's had 2 major injuries. You know what I'm saying? We say that for Embiid because he's a big man. I get it, but KD's also 7 feet tall.
He broke his foot in what?
He tore his Achilles.
I mean, okay, yeah, he broke his foot and tore his Achilles.
That's a major injury.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a 7-footer. That is a major injury. His feet are important. That toe sends him to the championship game. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say that about any team. If the Nuggets use Jokic, if the Lakers lose LeBron, although it don't matter much anyway. But yeah, I mean, like if Phoenix loses Chris Paul, if Phoenix loses Chris Paul, Phoenix is a middle of the pack.
Oh, they're done. They're done.
They
so
cooked.
is Ben Simmons getting traded before at the deadline?
He should. He should. If they want to match him out,
I think they're standing on. We will hold you hostage and fine you to the bejesus if you don't come back on this.
So you think, okay.
I really think that this is now you're not a part of this team and we're still winning. We would like to get more, but if we don't, we're just going to find the mess out of you and make sure you go broke. I think Philly is being Philly. I think Philly is taking on the mindset of the city like, you're not going to hold us hostage. And we letting you know that.
And I think if that happens, it allows other players to possibly do that too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't hold your team hostage. You have a contract, you have an obligation.
And this is the thing, right? He thinks he's the one holding the gun in the hostage situation. He don't realize he's the one in ropes and duct tape.
Bro, this man done went out, got engaged, bought a house.
Hey, I don't know how he gonna make them house payments.
He still got money if he's smart.
Hey, fam, I hope he's smart because they finding the mess out of him at this point. Every game
got engaged, got a house, bought his girl from
he got endorsement money. He got
from Australia. Hey, bro,
yeah, but endorsement money is still dependent on you being on the court to endorse the stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I wouldn't assume that he's blown.
I'm not saying that he's broke. I'm not saying he's poor or nothing like that. But I mean, I respect Philly for how they doing it. You're not gonna hold us hostage. You're not gonna hold us hostage. You're not gonna let us get. You're not going to come to us and after we've built an entire NBA team around you, which it is. Joel Embiid is just a really good player. Let's understand that Joel Embiid is just really freaking good because the team is built for Ben Simmons to do well. Have you seen his
numbers the last 4 games?
Fam, the last 10 games.
He has more points than minutes.
Bro, the last
I have him on my fantasy squad.
Do you? Oh, here we go.
Okay,
just a little fantasy update.
No, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like like to me, Ben Simmons, like Joel Embiid's just really good. The team is built for Ben Simmons to be good. And Joel Embiid's still thriving with it. Like they're 30 and what are they? 30 and 18 or something like that?
Hold on,
Who? Philly? They're
28 and 19. When the team's not built for the player that's on the team. That tells you a lot about Phil. That tells you a lot about Joel Embiid, man. I respect the mess out of him. And when everybody always is like, you know, like, oh, well, he's one injury away. That team's one injury away from being out of it. So is every team. Guess what? We lose Zach LaVine or we lose DeMar DeRozan for the year. We out of it. We lose
the
Nets lose Kevin Durant for the year. They out of it. Yeah, I mean, like that's every team ever.
Yeah, it's a dumb argument.
How good were the Bulls when Michael Jordan broke his foot? Yeah, I mean, like
at that time, not that great at all.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference when you lose a major piece that your team is built around. So, like, I'm not tripping on Philly at all. I actually think Philly's the team I'm probably most worried about if they do move Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
that's gonna be interesting to see, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. You said what?
You said if they lose out.
No, I said if they move from Ben Simmons, Philly is the team that I'm worried about the most.
Now the one that I did see John. They said John Collins.
John Collins.
They said John Collins, Bogan Bogdanovic, and I think somebody else for Ben and Tobias. Now if they do that. Now, if they do that, that allows them to play inside out.
Atlanta will be dumb to take that deal.
And Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, why would
Atlanta would be dumb to take that deal? We be must be making deals without thinking of the team that's sending the players. Like that would be dumb as heck.
But they said they've been actually talking about that for weeks though.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's dumb. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another morning, man. We'll be back tomorrow bright and early at 6 a.m. And we got Bulls live call tomorrow. Bulls taking on the Spurs tomorrow, so we'll be back for that as well. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. P.kidd had the kids come in and take his computer out, so he'll be back tomorrow morning as well. Shout out to the squad for pulling up, the super producer Joel Holt, and of course, the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan Adon. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.